Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to teamfortress.tv. I am FrickMyNick, joined by the BILLDOZER and Looster. Going to be continuing our Invite playoffs coverage for ESEA Invite. This is going to be the lower bracket finals. It's going to be Ascent versus Meat Market. How you doing tonight, Bill?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking, Nick. I'm really looking forward to seeing some good, strong Team Fortress 2 gameplay on this evening.
Indeed. So off the back of our Monday lower bracket round 1, we do see Ascent coming in from the upper bracket from last week. They're going to be meeting Meat Market, who played Monday night into Tuesday morning, and upset the third seed Chaos Control for their spot in this lower bracket final.
Yeah, I think that Meat Market played some great TF2. I think it was a great game all around. It was certainly a very long game, but you can never be unhappy with games that were as good as what we saw.
Indeed, we saw lots of good back and forth action, and 2 of the maps were 5-3. So, we did see some life out of Chaos Control, but Meat Market in the end with their roster changes were able to bring it out and meet Ascent in the lower bracket here. So we're going to be playing on Metalworks, Gullywash, and Process tonight. How do you think the maps line up for either of these teams?
Well, we were talking about this a little beforehand. I think that if Broking is able to replicate the performance that he had the other night, because he had a very strong performance on Gully, on Sunshine, and if he's able to put up those kinds of numbers on these first couple maps, I would say that it puts Meat Market in the running to maybe cause another upset here.
I would agree with that. I think that, at least for Meat Market, I think it's going to come down to Broking being able to show up, and on Monday night and Tuesday morning he did, and I think that was one of the reasons Chaos Control was able to it was one of the reasons Meat Market was able to pull it out versus Chaos Control. For the Ascent side of things, I would like to see on the later 2 maps, I think it's going to come down to bot mode, but I think on the first map, it's going to be a lot on Jay, because he is a little bit new to the upper echelons of Invite. He has played Invite previously, but not to the same level, especially coming in where he has a chance to finish at least 3rd this season. I know it's better than he's ever gotten before. I believe this is his first time making Invite playoffs. So I think this first map for Ascent is going to come down to J. Metalworks is a very pocket-centric map. And I think on the latter 2 maps, Ascent's going to play a little more to their style where they play around bot mode. And I think they might feel a little off with the pocket-centric map, because I know they do play around bot mode a lot more. We saw it the last time they played, when they played against Furio. Bot mode is kind of the center of the team. And it's kind of hard to do that on Metalworks.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Meat Market, in a pretty large contrast to the way that Ascent plays a very offbeat, helter-skelter style where they try to keep their opponent from being able to collect themselves properly, and they just try to keep the game going in their favor. And so how well they establish momentum and keep it up throughout this game is really going to be what sets the tone.
Indeed. So we do see 12 on the server. I think we're just waiting for them to ready up. What are your predictions for this series? Let's before we take it to the series, what do you think the map 1 do you think it's going to be?
That's a pretty good question. I think that we're going to see, I want to say 5-2 in favor of Ascent for Metalworks.
See, I was going to say, go ahead.
I think that Slemnish and Yai are going to come out pretty strong, and I think that maybe Meat Market are going to have a little trouble getting a hold of those players at the beginning, because Ascent does have a pretty incredible scout combo, and they can absolutely tear up a team that's not prepared for it. And with a map like Metalworks that has this many props around and this many places to jump off of, your scouts can do some real damage. However, I think that I'm not going to go into my predictions just yet for these later maps. I think that as Meat Market gets more comfortable with that, you will see a little bit more things go a little more even.
Yep, I was actually going to say, I think this is going to be, I believe this is Meat Market's map pick. Yes, this is Meat Market's map pick. And from the last couple times they've played it, they've looked pretty strong on it, even against, I believe they played it in Furio in the upper bracket. This was their map pick against them. And while it was a 5-0 scoreline, I think they had lots of good moments. So I'm actually going to say, I think Meat Market's going to take it, maybe 4-1, 4-2. I think it's going to be slower than they want, but there's going to be lots of good back and forth.
All right, that's a good way to. It's a good prediction. I like that.
So I believe we just saw a pre-game pause. I don't know if Looster has it on the just the B-roll SFM footage or if it's in the server, but we did see a pause. It looks like in the pre-game. So it was about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes long. So we should be going live relatively soon here.
Yeah.
Going back to the players to watch, who do you think is going to be the players to watch on these mids here, Bill? Because I know Metalworks mid is pretty chaotic. There's lots of opportunities for the soldiers to high bomb or play super defensively. Who do you think the players to watch on the mids are?
Well, you know, I already mentioned Broking as a player to watch, and you're probably going to see some real high bombs coming out of him, but I think that if you're looking for another meat market player, I think Corso would be a good player to watch. He plays a really hard heal-heavy scout role, and I think that you'll see him doing a lot of medic play, and you'll be seeing him do a lot of trying to clean up damage that his combo does for him.
Indeed. I think outside of the soldier bombs, like I said, I think Laz is going to be the player to watch on the side of Ascent. I think if he's able to show up, he's going to go in favor of Ascent, but I also think it's going to come to the medic. This is a pretty hard mid to live on medic and to not be baiting, so we are going to be going live with our first mid here, Bill.
Yes, we certainly are.
Yep, so we're going to see Saigai rolling out versus his counterpart Botman. It looks like Saigai is a little bit faster into mid. Going to be slow. Laz going to be a really fast bomb in on the Corsa. Going to find some decent damage. The Corsa's going to die really early. Jay's going to be collecting that. Broking going to be jumping in. Going to get caught. Going to get juggled by the entire team. With 2 down on side of meat market, it's going to be a very fast mid win for Ascent.
Yeah, you saw Laz go in with that fast bomb, which absolutely blew away Corsa, and he immediately got out. That was some smart play out of him, trying to keep Meat Market from establishing a rhythm that they're comfortable with here.
Yep, and Laz is in. He's going to be bombing in with 2 players down on Meat Market. They're going to be rolling out. Ash is super weak underneath the bridge. They're going to be looking for that one. A lot of players out of position on the side of Meat Market, but Laz and Yaya are actually going to be the 2 to go down. And Slimnish is committed. He's in a position to die under path. They're going to be pistoling it down. He's going to meet up with Skis, and they're going to be backing out. Jay going to be pressuring and helping him get out on that one. But, oh, Botman's going to find 2. He's going to get Ash and Saigai in. How? The tides have turned. Laz is going to get his spawn, and quickly the spawns have turned in favor. We're going to be seeing an exchange on the bridge here. Corsa is going to be taking that in, and Jay is going to be getting lots of flashes out of Ninja Nick. Corsa and Co are going to have the slightly worse Uber, but Jay and Co are just going to back. Ninja Nick's going to eat a pipe, but it looks like nobody's in a position to really follow up on it. And things are going to settle down here for a moment.
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. I'm liking this new 100% Ascent. You know, you see Laz going with these extremely aggressive plays, which I think if you're going to be trying that kind of thing, doing it at the immediate start of the game is a good way to start.
Yep, so we're going to see both teams kind of just tentatively building up through Uber. And that's actually where the pause happened, so it was a little more further ahead than anticipated. I thought it was going to be right at the start of the game. So we're going to see both teams building up through Ubers. Ninja Nick's actually got his. Skis, I guess, was not building for the pause. But I think they'll show some decent sportsmanship and let the other team build off of it.
Yeah, I would have to hope so, but, you know, I think that after that immediate aggression we saw, you'd want to see a little more coming out here, and it looks like we may get some. Both Laz and Jay look like they want to try and make some bomb from this alley side here. The scouts look ready to follow up.
Laz is in on the Ninja Nick. He's going to find 2 really good rockets. Going to get the force. Oh, he got so deep. Didn't go super high. Ninja Nick was holding in the doorway, and Laz, I guess, knew about it and was able to land directly in Ninja Nick's face. Got him with a nice 80 damage direct to start it off. Popped them up against the wall, and that was that. So Slimish and Co are going to be gearing up around the alley side of things, looking to push with their Uber ad here.
Yeah, they're going to want to push in pretty soon here, as we actually see Ash coming in with a really aggressive bomb. We saw 2 fantastic bombs coming out of each team, and they're both able to pop Uber pretty successfully. That's going to be a valuable resource that Ascent isn't going to have as easily going into last point, whereas Ninja Nick's going to have a good 60% advantage.
Yep, we saw a good bomb out of Ash there, kind of making the solo play for his team. Looks like Ascent is trying to pressure into last. Some Ninja Nick, not quite up on his Uber, about 80% right now. And looks like we have another pause. Yeah, so you do have another pause, it looks like.
Seems like it might be a rough night for Slimnish.
Yeah, the server chat did indicate he was lagging. So I guess we can kind of dissect this pause a little bit. So Ninja Nick is at 80%. The pause is going to happen a minute and a half in the future because of STV delays. Ninja Nick is pretty far back, but Broking and Corsa are both really close. And looks like Slimnish is in a position to at least kill Broking. Maybe not Corsa. Corsa is buffed, and they're about the same health. So it'd be a pretty even 1v1, assuming Broking goes down here. And it looks like both of Ascent's soldiers along with Skis are going to be trying to get in from the right side main from their perspective. So they do have an opportunity to go. Ninja Nick is at 81%.
It's worth noting they do have a sentry gun up here already on the point, which is going to pretty effectively, considering that I don't see bot mode's over here in the shutter, which means he's not in a position where he can comfortably shoot at the sentry. even if the soldiers get in, if they try and bomb with this Uber, they're not going to be able to take down that sentry gun particularly easy. So they're probably going to have to waste a little bit of it shooting this down. So you might, or they don't have Uber at all. Excuse me, that's my bad. They don't have Uber, which means that this sentry is probably going to keep them from, making any successful push.
Yeah, the sentry is level 2, so it does go down in 2 rockets. I mean, this is a little hard to ask. I don't think Ascent's going to necessarily know about this, but I think the optimal scenario is that they're going to turn this into a snack. Broking is going to go down and see the unpause happen. Slumnish and Co are just going to back up on that one. And it looks like Meat Market is just going to be holding. Ascent's not going to opt to try and push into last one. Ninja Nick's not going up on his Uber. They're going to be pushing the far left side from their perspective. Ash and Corsa are going to be leading that in. They're going to rotate over to main. Bot mode has stickies what they're going to use through. They obviously knew about the stickies. Corsa and Co are going to be chasing in. They're only going to find Laz for the most part, but it looks like Laz is going to be able to pogo out and live for his team. And Meat Market's going to get the positioning on 2, but they're not going to find much else.
Yeah, I do like the aggressive push out with the Uber. They're going to try and take the second point, and just having that point, which they actually don't get, they're backing out.
Yeah, Ascent's going to come back in with their Uber here.
It seemed like a smart aggressive play is suddenly them just wasting their Uber and Cookie having to set this back up. Although we do see Laz getting immediately denied by it. This is still a strong Uber that did go down. What else you seen here, Nick?
Yep, so we're going to see Broking is still down. He died on the push into 2. Ash is going to go and Slum. Just going to trade out for that one. Yike getting pressure in on the point. Corsa and Co. Their collapse is going to come in from Meat Market, but they're not able to get in time. Jay claiming 4 frags, going to clean up and get the first round for Ascent.
Yeah, I see what they were trying to do when they pushed out with that Uber, but Skis was just way too far out. They didn't really have a prayer of being able to catch him out and trying to kill him there.
Yep, indeed. So we are going to see our second mid here. It looks like Psy Guy is once again maybe a little bit faster than bot mode. They're going to rotate through main. Bot mode is fast. Laz is going to be out with another fast bomb. He's going to find another really high damage rocket on the Corsa early. Ninja Nick eating a ton of spam early, going down to about 22 HP. Birking going to be bombing, making a little bit of space for his team. Ash getting pressured really hard from Jay on the top right. Birking's going to bomb back and not going to find anything. Laz is going to end up trading out for that one, and Jay's going to get in and find Ninja Nick. Corsa's going to punish Jay for that, but the damage is done. Slumnish is going to be cleaning up frags. He's going to claim Corsa. He's in on the side, guys. It did a little bit of help, but yet he's going to clean that one up. Ash is going to get in onto Skis, but Skis is going to surf away, and it's going to be a mid for Ascent.
Yeah, Laz has just been playing an aggressive, almost oppressive roamer style here on these mids. You've been seeing him get these fast bombs, and then you've been seeing him re-engage with a high bomb that is completely shutting Meat Market out from being able to establish any sort of presence on this midpoint.
Yeah, Laz is just bombing into Corsa early and making it so Corsa just has 0 room to breathe. I think both mids he's jumped into Corsa and hit him for over 80 damage and just put him down in under 100 HP in threat of being killed by a pipe, and then we just see the rest of Ascent pressuring super hard. So Skis and Co are going to have a full Uber at here. They're going to be gearing up by main. It looks like they're going to pop in on the left side. They're going to take Slumnish and Yipe, but there's not actually going to be anything on the far left side. They're going to find the heavy of Kuki. Kuki's going to go down. But they're not going to get much else with that. They're going to get some position. So they're going to get stickies on the point. Yite's pressuring the point. Ninja Nick's going to go, and Slumnish is going to find 2. It's going to be a DM fight. Yite's just in on the point, though. Nobody's going to be able to come in and contest for Meat Market. It's going to be a quick 2-0 for Ascent.
Yeah. Sorry, that just... Ascent is taking these aggressive double scat Ubers, and it's paying dividends for them. Part of it was that Meat Market didn't really have any Uber to try and defend with this, but it just means that they can cover all that ground so quickly, and there wasn't really anything that Meat Market could do to try and stifle it.
Yep, we're going to see a slightly slower mid from Ascent on this time. We're not seeing any crazy aggressive bombs out of Laz. Going to be delaying. We're going to see a double soldier bomb out of Ash and Broking. Yite is going to be the first set in the mid. Ash and Broking are going to go down. There's a lot of positioning for Meat Market here on the point. Both scouts are on the high ground. Jays and Laz are going to be trying to jump in, make some space for their team. Laz is going to go down super weak, but just going to be pressuring Meat Market out. We're going to see Psy Guy going down super late. Jay's going to be claiming that frag, and Jay and Slummish are nipping at the bits here. They are pressuring Meat Market so hard in the shutter area. It's just Corsa, Kuki. Kuki's actually going to get juggled in from the shutter side. He's going to opt to run into Ascent's flank. Corsa and Co are going to be taking exchange on the point. They're in on the bot mode. Skis is yet to pop off the Zuber. He actually doesn't have it quite yet. He's milking so hard. Skis and Co have yet to pop, and they're not actually going to end up popping. Oh, Corsa's going to get the pop super late. But they're going to be chasing into 2. Corsa's going to go down here. Laz is down for Ascent, but with the 5v5, Ascent has all the positioning on 2. Oh, but Ash is going to come in. He's going to get Jay So off the back of that, he's going to be pushing back in with his team. Saigai and Kyuki in on the point. They're going to claim bot mode, but it's Slemnish and Yite fighting on the point. Broking's going to live for so long. They're going to get Saigai out of the combo, but it's just going to be Laz and Skis alive for their team. And Meat Market has 4 players up, going to be pushing back into mid.
Yeah, Meat Market made a really smart play there. They knew that they were a couple players down, but they did have the Uber. I don't think they expected Skis to not have his Uber. And I think Corsa may have been trying to go a little more for scare tactics than anything else. However, they were able to get it out. NinjaNick got way out, and then they were able to re-engage once they got comfortable, and they just cleaned up Ascent without too much of an issue.
Yep, so we see a very minor Uber ed on the side of Meat Market, only about 5%. It's actually going to even out by a little bit of good building from Skeet. We're going to see the Slemnish Sniper out pretty early, while both teams are about to be coming up on their Uber. Meat Market is in control of mid, while Ascent is holding on their 2. But they're just going to be trying to work the Slemnish Sniper and deny Meat Market from getting any aggressive sacks.
Yeah, and I think they might not have realized this is there yet, because they're playing very smart around this area as they're pushing a little bit into Slemnish right now. We're going to want to see some aggressive bombs coming out of bot mode, although not bot mode, Bro King, as Ash does go down on the flank. We're going to see if there's any sort of counterplay coming out from Ascent.
Yep, so they might go for a counter sack of Laz. Laz is getting a buff from Skis right now, but they also might just opt to peek Slemnish really aggressively. They are gearing up for that, it looks like. Slemnish is going to be just walking in from the valley side of things, but he's just going to be going in alone. He's going to get absolutely shredded by Corsa on the high ground. So it's a very late counter sack attempt. And we are going to see one down for the side of Ascent. And Ash is with his team on mid here, so Meat Market does have the potential to send in a sack. It looks like Corsa is just going to be making space. Ash going for the really high bomb, going to find 1 rocket onto Skis, not going to find much else. Slemnish is going to get a spawn, and Meat Market's just going to back up.
Yeah, I would say that if Slemnish is on the other team, he goes down, that's worth pushing off of. However, it seems as though Meat Market thinks a little differently. I like the aggressive bomb out of Ash. Unfortunate that he wasn't able to find anything right there. And you're just going to see things stalemate out a little bit more until we see somebody probably try to be a little overly aggressive and mess up.
Yep, Meat Market once again. Ash going for another high bomb. He's going to be committing this time, it looks like. He's not going to find much. And Jay's going to get the frag onto Broking. It looks like that was in house. Yep, Jay is in house. Really, really aggressive. He's going to go down. Corsa collecting that frag. And Skis is going to drop to a trap from Saigai. Nobody was looking for traps on the side of Ascent. And Skis is going to drop his Uber. Saigai collecting that one. And so what looked like a really good situation for Ascent with 2 soldier picks is actually going to turn in favor of Meat Market.
I know that I just said that you're probably going to see someone make a mistake when they get overly aggressive. That's exactly what happened. However, I think that the death to the trap by Skis was a little unfortunate, as Meat Market kind of got rewarded for that, unless they were trying to bait the aggression out of Ascent, in which case, bravo, it was a smart play.
No, so we are going to see the Slemnish Engineer and the Yite Pyro on the right side of last for their perspective, trying to repel the 75% Uber from NinjaNick. They're going to be popping in on the far left side from their perspective. Saigai and Corsa leading this one. The gun was actually upgrading when they came in, so they're not going to find any. They're going to get the gun, but everybody else on this side is doing a really good job of living. Ash shooting a ton of damage. Laz going to get a nice rocket onto him to clean that. Broking's going to get the frag onto Skis, but he's going to go down himself. No soldiers on the side of Meat Market once again. Kyuki's going to get caught out by the sticky from bot mode juggling him in, so Jay can collect on one. Yite's going to get Corsa, so it's just Saigai and NinjaNick's going to be out in house, but Saigai going to be in on last, it looks like. Yeah, he was in on last. He wasn't able to find anything, however. NinjaNick's going to meet up with Bro King. It's going to have about a 40% ad with Skis spawning up, but Ascent is going to get there too.
Yeah, I liked the push that they came up with. Going in on the right side, going in straight into that gun wasn't so bad. However, the soldier play out of Meat Market seemed a little bit scattered going in, and they were punished for what seemed like poorly directed bombs. However, they did get Skis. They are going to have that advantage, and it's going to give them another chance here.
Yep, so we're going to see Skis at about 50%, NinjaNick at about 90%. It looks like NinjaNick and Co. are gearing up around the house side. So it looks like they may just try and go, yep, they're going to try and pop it through main here. They're getting juggled super hard. We're going to see aggressive bomb from Saigai. Everybody's out on the side of Ascent except for Yut. And Jay's actually in the back line, is going to get chased down by Ash. Ash is going to collect that frag onto mid. So 2 down for the side of Ascent. They are at 90%. Bro King is going to go down. Laz is going to be collecting that frag. Pretty weak, but Skis is going to come up on his Uber, and Meat Market doesn't actually have the cap, so they're going to get Ubered back into bot mode. Going to be bombing into the entirety of Ascent, going to do a ton of damage. Corsa down so. And Slemnish is going to clean up Ash, and bot mode's going to pipe down Corsa. So what went from a 2-player ad for Meat Market, it's actually going to turn into a 2-player ad for Ascent, and we're going to be rolling into mid.
And this is the trap that you see of Metalwork second. You have this big open point, lots of high ground, lots of low ground, and then there's this door that a team can back up through incredibly safely, and it means that you really can't chase them or you're going to get mulched, and Ascent showed that brilliantly. They pulled back, they let the Uber fade, and then they walked back out through the door, and Meat Market couldn't do a whole lot to stop them, and they've suddenly rolled it, pushing back into Meat Market second now.
Yeah, and speaking of getting mulched, Burking jumped into Bull Scouts on mid and went down, died in the air, wasn't able to hit the floor. Looks like Ascent's going to be sacking in Jay. Jay's going to be really, really aggressive, but Ninja Nick's going to be popping Uber. All of Ascent is committed in the Valley side of things. Ski's going to eat a ton of damage down to 13 HP. Corsa's going to clean that one up. Kuki and Corsa collecting 4 for their team. It is just Slumnish on the side of Ascent. Ninja Nick's going to go down there. Going to get that consolation prize, but with almost everybody going down on the side of Ascent, Meat Market's going to get the positioning on mid.
Yeah, I think what happened there was, again, kind of unfocused soldier bombs. You saw, rather it was bad timing. Jay bombed in on a second, but you already saw Ninja Nick pushing forward with his scouts into the house area. And that just meant that he didn't have a whole lot to look at, and that meant that the flank of Meat Market was able to clean him up pretty well, while you actually saw some great damage being done by Meat Market's combo against Ascent.
Yep, and because Ninja Nick didn't actually get the forward spawns in time, Meat Market took too little to too long to cap up on the mid with all of the spawns for Ascent. They're actually going to push with their heal advantage back into mid. We are going to see a pretty small Uber ad for Skis here, about 20%, a little bit less than that. Doesn't really look like it's much to push off of. And yeah, Ninja Nick and Course are going to be far back in the shutter from their perspective, just building it up, while Bot Mode, Slumnish, and Skis are going to be top left, just building it up from their perspective.
Yeah, I'd like to see just an old-fashioned, soldier scout Uber being pushed in, although Meat Market seems like they want to take this a little bit aggressively as they do back out.
Yep, and Laz is going to be jumping in. He's going to land on Ninja Nick's head. Going to find a really good first rock and a decent splash on the second one. He is going to find the fourth. Jay's going to find the pick onto Corsa while all of that was happening, and they're not even going to get the counter pop on the side of Ascent. Ascent's going to counter pop back into them on their own volition. They're going to be chasing down Psy Guy in left lobby. Psy down to about half HP. Actually going to do a really good job of juggling Slum, but going to run out of stickies there. Slum just going to claim that one. And a lot of Meat Market is still committed onto 2. Ash are going to get in on the Skis. Skis is down pretty weak, down to 60 HP. Ash not going to find that one. Kuki and Ash are down. Burking's going to be jumping in, going to find good damage onto Bot Mode. Going to be continuing to claim Yite eventually, but Skis is going to find the frag into Burking. It is 3 down for the side of Meat Market, but Ascent has no scouts. It is about even Ubers here, because it looks like Ninja Nick was disconnected for a little bit, despite the fact he popped first. And Ascent's going to be trying to pressure into last, despite the fact they don't have any scouts. Yep, and we're going to see Jay's going to be jumping in, looking for the bomb on the Ninja Nick pop, or Psy Guy with 2 nice pipes, going to claim the frag off the deny, of course. The Ninja Nick went down to about 30 HP, but Jay was not able to get the frag on that one.
Yeah, Ascent had an opportunity there. I'm not going to say that it would be a good idea for them to push straight in. However, they think that they could have poked and prodded a little more aggressively, tried to get some information, because the way that shaked out, they had a demo man, they had both soldiers, they probably could have taken a whack at that, at pushing into last.
Yep, so we are going to see Kuki on Engineer, just going to be building a sentry gun for his team on the defense. Ash is going to eat a bunch of damage on the left side, going to get pressured by Last. But we should see a sack attempt out of Ascent. They don't have any off classes as of right now. They're running just Cookie Cutter. We do see Corsa on Scout, so I'm interested to see if Ascent is going to sack one of their scouts to put them on Sniper, and see if Corsa opts to counter snipe.
Yeah, I think seeing Sniper here would be okay. Meat Market seems to have themselves locked down pretty well in the way that they hold this last, and if Ascent has good information on the way that this is being held, they may understand that it's not a particularly good way to go about it. However, they don't play in this back area at all. There could be an opportunity.
Laz going to jump into Laz, going to get denied by the sentry gun though. Not going to find anything on that, not a single point of damage onto Ninja Nick.
So they don't seem to spend any time in this back area over here. I think there could be an opportunity for a spy play if they're feeling particularly brave. However, it's important to remember that when you off-class to a spy, you do need to disguise yourself as another class.
Indeed. We saw that Mirror Man doing that the other day. Decloaked in front of a sentry gun while not disguised, and he got obliterated by the aggressive engineer Cookie. So we are going to see the Slumnish Sniper coming out for the side of Ascent, and I believe Ash is on Spy. Where is Ash at? He is actually committed out of spawn. He's in the far left side from his perspective. So while he waits for his cloak to regen, he's going to be trying to find his way into the flank, while Slumnish continues to try and ring off some pot shots, getting some space for his team in lobby here.
Yeah, so I was wrong on both fronts. Not only did Slimnish go sniper, but a player from Meat Market is on the spy. But I think that Cookie does go down to Slimnish, and Slimnish
and Ash
is
is
in
going to be in,
return.
but he's going to get seen by Jay. Skis had no idea that Ash was there, but Jay with the really good awareness. We are going to see 3 down on the side of Meat Market. Ash, Cookie, and Broking are all down. Jay and Co are going to be pressuring from the main. Course is going to go down. It's just Saigai and Ninja Nick and the Sentry Gun versus the world. It's going to pistol down the Sentry Gun. They're going to get their spawns on the side of Meat Market, but Yite isn't on the point, and they're going to get the force out of Ninja Nick, who's the only one in position to contest. We're going to see a better Uber coming out of Skis. He's going to flash a little bit. Saigai's going to be putting stickies in onto the point, so is bot mode. We're going to see the aggressive bomb on the Broken, claiming the frag into Laz. Ash popped him in the air. Really good pipe from bot mode, going to pop them up, and they're going to clean that one. But 3 down on the side of Ascent, 4 down now. We are going to see Meat Market successfully repelling the bush.
Yeah, Meat Market did actually get their spawns there at the perfect timing. Just as the Uber started to run out from Ninja Nick, you saw players beginning to come in and be able to support both Sai and Ninja Nick, who are still alive, and that was able to successfully turn the fight in their favor.
Yep, so we're going to see Ascent getting their spawns, holding on to mid. Skis was able to live, so it's going to be even Ubers with Ninja Nick here. Pretty impressive last hold coming out of Meat Market, despite the unfortunate situation they were able to delay and get their spawn. So we're going to see Ascent holding on to mid. We're going to see cookie cutter classes out of both teams, just building up through Ubers, and we should see a play coming out of Ascent here shortly.
What kind of play do you want to see come out of Ascent, Nick?
Well, so far they've had pretty good luck with the Laz bomb into 2, so I'd like to see maybe another Laz sack. They're kind of posturing for that, but it looks like they're going to be rotating out. Looks like they're kind of going for it now. The soldiers from Meat Market going to be trying to deny the space, but Laz is going to be jumping in. Ninja Nick not in a position. A really nice rocket from one of the Meat Market soldiers going to deny Laz really good. Saigai with a pipe going to clean that one up, and we're going to see Broking on the counter side. Not going to find any damage into Skis. See 1 down for both teams. Ascent does have the option to sack another player here in the midst of this chaos, and it looks like Jay is going to be opting to go in. He's going to be in on a Ninja Nick, and they got a really good first rocket, but Saigai's going to do the get down, Mr. President, going to trade out with Jay. They're going to be killing each other there. But Ascent has all the positioning on the point. Corsa is going to be looking for a really aggressive exchange, but Ski's going to have such a better Uber. Corsa took first half that Uber to just get the force, and looks like both the Ascent scouts are going to be chasing down Kyuki, and Ascent is going to get the cap on to...
Yeah, it's a shame that that fight shaped down the way it was, because Cookie kind of had both, he had Jay and he had bot mode locked out of that second point, and if he had gotten a little more support from his team, a little more support from his medic, you could have seen things turn a little more in Meat Market's favor, but instead...
So Ascent is going to find 2 picks on Broking, and of course they're going to be pushing into last. Yite and Jay are going to go down, though. So a scrappy DM fight is going to be coming out. Kyuki in on the point, going to collect a frag on the Slum. It's going to be just Skis and Yite on the side of us. Skis is going to be running for his life, trying to meet up with the spawner of Yite. All the 4 players from Meat Market are going to be chasing down. Skis is down so weak, down to 17 HP. Going to squeak out in the house. Looks like Broking is going to be looking for the chase, but he's just going to get absolutely shredded. Ninja Nick is going to claim the arrow frag onto Yite off the back of the Broking damage, but Meat Market's going to claim 2, and they're going to have about a 20% Uber to try and pressure Ascent here.
Yeah, and I think they're going to want to go pretty much near immediately. They understand that that Skis was not healing for most of that, as they're actually going to go lower. This is going to take a lot of time to transition, and Skis is going to be able to get his Uber up in that time.
Yeah, it looks like as quickly as they postured up before. Oh, it looks like they're rotating in the house. They're going to be popping into mid, but Skis is up on his Uber. Kyuki is really, really aggressive. And on the point, he's in on the Skis. Going to get the force. Force is going to go down, and Kyuki should follow. So no scouts on the side of Meat Market. Is not really going to find much else with the Uber. And they're just going to be trying to look into getting into 2 here, but the soldiers are both holding close. They're going to absolutely destroy Yite, but Botman's going to claim the frag onto Broken, and Laz is going to be jumping in. Saigai going to be dealing a ton of damage. Laz with a really nice rocket on the wall, going to save himself from cratering there, despite the fact that he got popped up in the air. It was only about 20 health from Saigai, and it looks like Ash is in behind Ascent. Going to be pogoing into mid, collecting health packs, but Ascent is going to get the cap on 2 while Meat Market is stuck on their last.
Yeah, Ascent has been making these smarter pushes here. I think that they probably went a little too aggressive with their scouts, but the superior soldier player was able to win them out that fight, as it looks like Meat Market is just going to have to back up and set up again, although their holds have been relatively successful, so...
Ash is going to eventually go down. He went for a play on the Skis, but he was unsuccessful. Only found about 50 damage on that one. And it looks like Ascent is trying to go off it. Ninja Nick has been building slightly better, has about a 10% add on Skis here, but looks like Ascent is posturing up, pressuring into last. Jay is going to go down. Slumdish is pretty weak here as well. Ninja Nick's going to pop off his Uber. Corsa is going to find some good damage on the combo of Ascent. They're actually going to end up dropping out bot mode. And Skis is going to be milking like an absolute farmer. Has a 100% better Uber compared to Ninja. And Laz is going to poke into Ninja Nick, claiming that one. Corsa, Ash, and Ninja Nick all. And we're going to see Broking on the back cap. It looks like Broking was capping a little bit there. He's going to be trying to pogo his way into Laz as he's the last player life for Meat Market. Slemnish and Skis are in another point. And it's going to be a 3-0 half for Ascent.
Yeah, we were praising Meat Market's aggression earlier, but I think they might be going about it the wrong way. They don't really have the luxury of being able to push out of Metalworks last into Metalworks second with an Uber when you know that Skis has his own Uber. I think that considering that these pushes have been going really poorly for them and they end up just dying anyway, I think that running some sack plays when they have these kinds of opportunity could behoove them and find them a little more success, because I'm going to be honest, they've just been wasting these Ubers.
Yeah, they've been taking a lot of exchanges, and it looks like Ascent is doing a really good job of just being ready for Corsa running into their team, and they're doing a really good job of just backing up and playing the distancing appropriately. And they have dropped players in favor of getting a better Uber, and they're doing a good job of not dropping too many players. Like we saw bot mode, like specifically on the last round, we saw bot mode was dropped in favor of getting a better Uber. But Corsa, Ninja Nick, and Kuki all went down. So despite the fact they did drop bot mode really early, they were able to instantly claim 3 really important frags for Meat Market. Because having your scouts and a medic up for a post fight are basically your 3 most important classes. Because you see a lot of DM fights that are really, really close for teams. You end up seeing 2 scouts and a medic being the last players alive for 1. And if those are the first 3 players dead for your team, it's going to be really hard to find a post for a team that has all 6 players up.
Yeah, what I will say is, man, I had a thought earlier. I was hoping I would think of it if I said those words. As we go into these next midpoints, as that round did take a lot longer, it seems as though the teams are getting a little more comfortable with themselves. Meat Market is going to have to watch out for that aggressive Laz bomb, but what I don't want to see is them thinking that they need to go any slower or that they need to try and prepare for it by letting him come to them. I think just, knowing that bomb kind of puts him on that upper area and playing a little heavily in the lower or in valley would probably be a better way to roll out into this mid.
Yeah, and they did that on the last mid, but Laz actually faked him out and did a really smart thing. It didn't go for the fast bomb on the last mid. He just played passively in-house from his perspective, trying to stop players from going behind. So Meat Market played really passively, expecting that really fast bomb from Laz, but he didn't end up going for it. So they were able to find a lot of positioning early, and Laz was able to just bomb in on the really passive Meat Market and find a ton of damage. So
okay.
I think...
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I think on the side of Meat Market, they just need to be doing a better job of holding position when the fights are kind of devolving, and we're kind of just seeing the exchanges spam sort of early in the mid fights, after the early Laz bomb or lack thereof. During that 2-3 seconds of just position holding and people reloading rockets and getting ready to bomb, I think Meat Market needs to be doing a better job of holding positionings, because Ascent is doing a really good job of having good positioning. Jay's holding on the point really aggressively and not having to give that up, whereas the Meat Market soldiers are seem to getting pressured back really, really hard in comparison. And I think that's the big thing that I would like to see out of Meat Market soldiers, is playing in a position and having the rest of the team be able to support them so they can hold that positioning so they're not super far back and they're not able to get corralled into the valley before the double soldier bomb from Ascent.
Yeah, I'll agree. What I'd like to see is some sniper coming out of Meat Market, because when Ascent pushes into these last, you see them play a fair amount of footsies, some amount of a neutral game before they decide to push in. And I think that when they're trying to peek and look like that, if Meat Market can sort of obscure the fact that they have a sniper pretty well, then that could prove fruitful for them. There's a good opportunity there.
Indeed. The other thing I'd like to see out of Meat Market too is maybe going with a little more standard 1-player sacks. I think Ascent is kind of just relying on the 1 soldiers to make the play. They are supporting the soldier really, really well, but it looks like when Meat Market is sacking players, they're sacking more than 1, and Ascent's able to capitalize off of it. Whereas Ascent, like I said, Ascent is only sacking 1 player, and Meat Market isn't able to find anything off just the 1-player sack. Whereas Meat Market is losing multiple players. And the thing is, too, is Ascent has done a really good job of finding other picks. I think the one time they tried to just sack Ash, Jay was able to find Broking and push really, really aggressively into house and pressure back the scout that was trying to play with Broking. So I think in general, I think Meat Market needs to kind of play a little more together. One of the things I know is that at least from what I've kind of been seeing is outside of Ninja Nick and Corsa kind of being a cohesive combo, looks like Broking and Sai are kind of playing their own game where they're kind of playing a little more independently. And I think one of them needs to be kind of playing with Corsa more. And conversely, I think Kyuki and Ash need to be playing a little bit tighter as well. So that way Ascent isn't able to just take 2v1s against them during these scrappy DM fights and transitions.
Yeah, you said it pretty well. I agree that Meat Market does look kind of scattered, maybe a little frazzled even during these fights. And I think that Sai seems to be trying to play a little bit of a lone wolf, and he needs to take some heals and, play like a combo class.
Indeed. So we are going to see the ready up out of both teams. We're going to be going live in the second half. I think the player to watch in the first half was Laz. Do you think Laz is the player to watch for these last couple of mids here?
I'd like to watch Kuki here, because we know what Corsa's going to do on this mid, but I think I'd like to see what kind of path Kuki takes and what he tries to accomplish here.
Yep, so we are going to see Saiga and Botman arriving at mid. About the same time, we're going to see an aggressive charge shot out of Lat. Not going to find anything. Saiga's going to get a really early sticky kill on the Slum. Ash is going to be the next one, going to be go down, along with Broking, but they're going to trade out and get enough damage onto Bot. Corsa is going to clean up another one onto Jay, who is in onto Ninja Nick. Going to find some decent damage there, but Nick was able to comfortably live, and it's just Laz and Skis on the side of Ascent who are going to be backing up for the Shredder, and it's going to be a Meat Market mid.
Well, they need to cap before it's Meat Market mid. It looks like they may be letting Ash worry about that, and they're just going to try and lock down this point first.
Indeed, so we do see Laz dying super late, but he's going to buy enough space for Skis to get out. It looks like Meat Market is just going to pull back onto mid. Despite the fact that they do have a player at and they did have the positioning, but it looks like Ascent is going to try and push back out into 2. It's only Sai really. It's going to be up with Ash and the rest of his team right now, but they're going to get caught in the doorway here. Slimnish is going to be the first frag. Sai going to be getting a nice pipe onto him to claim that one, but Botman's going to pipe down Ash in return. We are going to see Yite going to go down, going to die on the tail end of this Uber early. And looks like Corsa is going to claim that frag. And we are going to see a ton of damage on the side of Meat Market, but Jay was able to get in, but he's not going to find the frag he wants. Corsa going to be punishing him for that one. We're going to see 2 down on the side of Ascent. Meat Market is going to get their spawners, but they are only 4 up on 2.
Yeah, that was a shame. That was a real chance for Corsa to flex and show his confidence a little bit, as you saw that Skis was down to about 50 health during that Uber, and he could have charged through there and maybe tried to pick up another kill or 2 when that Uber faded. I think that, maybe an aggressive play like that could be an important thing that, Meat Market could make use of in this half where they're already down 3-0. A risky play.
Yep, and I think that's the first, at least from what I've been paying attention to, I think that's the first exchange that Corsa has taken that has gone in their favor. So we are going to see some good adaptations from Corsa to be able to get a little better into the exchange. We're going to see both teams coming up on their Uber. Yite is going to be building up a sentry gun while Slimnish is playing the heavy weapons gun for Ascent. And we are going to see cookie cutter classes out of the side of Meat Market.
Yeah, and I like this sentry gun position if this is where it's going to be. It's not quote-unquote hidden, but it will be able to stay out of the sight line coming from this right side, while it still has essentially the same coverage.
Yeah, we see the super aggressive holding out of Ascent here. They have the heavy push all the way up, able to peek into main. It's not making it so there's any room for Meat Market trying to attack. We're going to see Kyuki really aggressive on the left side, going to go down to a trap from bot mode. And so we do see a player advantage for the side of Ascent. And Slimnish has swapped off the heavy and opting to pick up the sniper rifle. And we aren't going to see, it doesn't look like we're going to see a counter-sack out of Ascent. They're just going to be opting some room for Slimnish to snipe, but Broking's going to get the Uber forced off on him, kind of taking an exchange. Again, Ascent's getting the better Uber, going to be chasing Meat Market all the way back. Broking's going to make it, of course, eating a ton of damage from the bot mode stickies, with the fall damage going down to about 9 HP. We aren't going to see any deaths for either team. Kyuki's going to be meeting up with his team off for respawn, and we're going to see things reset once again.
Yeah, I think that was just sort of to neutralize the 2 Ubers. Now we're going to stalemate out a little bit. However, with the way that both teams are just focusing on building right now, if you're going to make a play, this is the time, as Ash does try to make a play. However, not much you can do when you're jumping into a level 3 sentry, and in addition to that, bot mode was pretty ready for him. So we're going to see if he wants to maybe try a spy play or something like that, but, if you're going to make a play, this is the time.
Yeah, and Ash, at least in days gone by, was a sniper to be afraid of. I don't know if he's going to opt to pick for anything. It looks like he's not rocket jumping. It looks like he's holding the spawn door, so it looks like Kyuki is going to be running back. Yeah, Kyuki is going to be running back, looking to switch off to an off class. Once again, we do see Slumnish on the sniper, and Kyuki's going to pick up the scope on the other end of things to be counter snipe. So we're going to see the Slumnish versus Kyuki sniper battle here shortly.
Yeah, and we see a really aggressive positioning out of Slumnish as we're just going to have Jay trying to open this door for him to peek, where NinjaNick is actually in some kind of danger if he tries to peek this area, as well as Ash if he's trying to move across. However, we have Kyuki squaring up to try and find a pick here as he's peeking this left side, with Slumnish actually there as well. We're going to see an interesting fight here.
Yep, so we saw Slumnish get the body shot onto Kyuki, but they're just going to be rotating around. Seed's going to be holding really close from his perspective, holding inside the dispenser in the anti-sniper spot. So unless Kyuki does a really aggressive peek, he isn't going to be able to find Ski. And NinjaNick conversely is in the anti-sniper spot, kind of in the connectors between the two lobbies, safe from any sniper sightlines. Kyuki's going to be trying to peek in from main. Slumnish, along with the stickies from Botman, are going to claim the frag onto Broking. Slumnish looking for a really aggressive peek on the right side. Laz is going to counter-sack into the team. And Course is going to find a lot of damage onto Ascent players. They're just going to be backing up, meeting up with Skis, getting some heal. And we are going to see, I guess, a reset. We do see the sniper v sniper battle still happening. Kyuki and Slumnish peeking at each other. Neither of them bringing off any particularly notable damage, however.
Yeah, and it's important to note that Ascent still has a 3-0 advantage. So, don't want to see us sit here with this for 24 minutes, but it could happen. And, you know, if that happened, then Ascent would be winning the map. So the onus is really on Meme Market here to try and make something happen.
Indeed. There's only about 6 minutes left on the round timer, a little bit less than that. So we would see a round reset before we see the 24 minutes go by. But we're going to see an exchange out of Corsa, going to be popping in. Going to find a lot of damage. Ski's going to drop a zoom. The stickies from Sai Guy going to take him down along with a really good meat shot from Corsa. Kyuki's going to find the better of Slumnish, going to find the headshot there. We're going to see 2 down on both teams, but with 2 soldiers down on Meat Mark and no heal. And bot mode going down as well. Sai claiming a frag on the bot mode. Kyuki's going to get Jay as well. It's Yite versus and Laz versus the world. Yite is going to go down. It is just Laz. Course is in out of the point. They're going to claim that one. Skis is going to find his respawn, but it's going to be all for naught. It's going to be a 3-1 game. Meat Market finally putting themselves on the board after a rough first half.
Yeah, and we saw Sai actually picking up what I assume he wasn't even trying to get Skis there. It was just a little bit of a happy accident that took place as he was trying to get down that sentry. So I'd like to see what Laz is going to do on this mid, because last mid he did start in with the charge shot, which was just a little
and Laz
bit of
going really aggressive in. He's going to find the 2 rockets on the side. Sai going to get double directed by Laz instantly, and Ascent with a really aggressive mid going to find Corsa and Broking in the door. Ash is going to bomb and they're going to go down. But with Laz being the only death on Ascent, they're going to wipe out Meat Market.
Yeah, and then Jay just managed to have a great flank as he came in from house, and he took out Corsa and he took out NinjaNick with 1 rocket apiece. And, you know, excuse me, that was Cookie and NinjaNick. And, you know, the moment that Sai Guy went down, that mid was over. There was no chance of them being able to fight it or hold it. They didn't even want to make sacks on the enemy med. And now you're going to see Skis pushing in, presumably with Jay and Slumnish, in an attempt to try and get something going before Nemar can really get their feet wet and try and hold this.
Indeed, so we're going to see Ascent gearing up for the push. They do have full advantage off the back of that dominant mid win. We are going to see their pop in. They're going to see Yite and Slumnish going to be focusing down Kyuki really early. Korza's actually going to be moving his gun up, so it's not going to be able to shoot for a couple seconds, but the gun's going to get built in, and Uber's over from Ascent. They're going to be rotating through the main area. Broking going to be finding damage on the bot mode, who's going to claim Broking and the sentry gun. Ash is going to get Jay, but bot mode's going to trade it out once again. Bot mode getting some really good fraction of team, getting stickies onto the point. Yeah, it's just going to cap it out. And off the back of that really dominant mid, we're going to see a really quick response for Ascent, putting themselves up 4-1 over Meat Market.
Yeah, and I think that we're probably going to see Ascent close it out here, if I had to say, because they seem to have figured out Meat Market pretty successfully. Meat Market was able to get 1 mid, but I think that Ascent's going to be coming out in full force here. I'd like to see, again, what Laz does. He actually messes up his fastball.
Yeah, he messes up the speed shot. So we're going to see Corsa and Broking getting positioning early in this. Laz is going to be sitting in the elbow. We're going to see a really high bomb out of Ash. He's going to be meeting up with the rest of his team. And Ascent's going to be kind of counter-pushing back. Yite is going to be the first death in the mid. Yeah, Laz and Broking to follow. Bot mode's going to go down. Looks like Meat Market is going to win out this mid. Ascent is going to find, I'm sorry, Ascent J is going to find the pick onto Ninja Nick, so it's just a bit of icing on the cake for them. And Skis is going to be running out. He is on the far left. He's getting chased down by Corsa. Corsa 100 LGing him. Hit almost every single pistol shot. Got him down to 11 HP and was finished him off with the scattergun. So what was going to be a decent mid out of Ascent with Skis living is actually going to turn into an uber disadvantage. And them being on their last, it's actually only going to be a small uber set. Skis got a really good spawn wave, and Ninja Nick had a really long respawner. So they are only see about 20 add on the side of Ninja Nick with Meat Market, but Ascent is on their last.
Yeah, I was a little wrong with my prediction, but Meat Market did a good job baiting in the soldier bombs with their own soldiers, as Ash actually goes down to the Slemnish sniper. As I was saying, Meat Market baited in the soldier bombs really well, and then with the soldiers down, they were able to push across the point pretty effectively and take out the likes of bot mode and, you know, the scouts.
Indeed. So, and Slemnish is going to find the other soldier Broken, going down to him as well. Slemnish on the scope finding both of the soldiers. And it looks like Ascent is going to be pushing really hard. Ninja Nick is about to be up on his Uber. And Skis is there shortly to follow. Bot mode's going to be really aggressive in the lobby. Corsa is going to be in. But both the soldiers are going to be jumping Corsa. Going to find a ton of damage on the Corsa and Psy. But Ascent is going to be really, really hurt here. Skis is down to pretty low as well as Jay. So they're just going to back up. They're going to quickly dive into the resupply cabinet area. Going to get their health back up. And we are going to see the Ubers even out. We're going to see some calming down. Teams are just going to kind of reset here. Slemnish is still up on the sniper. We are going to see Yite on the engineer still. And Meat Market is still running all of their cookie cutter classes. Broking's going to peek main, going to find the stickies from bot mode. Going to go down to 14 HP, but he's going to meet up with Ninja Nick. Going to get healed. QQ and Ash going to be beating a ton of damage in the lobby area. Ascent is so aggressive in this lobby area, just giving Slemnish tons of room to snipe. But Broking's going to get launched in from the main area, going to get denied by the sentry gun. Skis going to eat a ton of damage. Skis is actually going to force off, despite the fact that Broking missed his last rock. And Slemnish and Laz are going to go down to the really aggressive Meat Market. So Meat Market, not only do they have full ad, but they have 2 picks to work with. Broking is down for another couple. They're going to be focusing down the gun on the point. Jay's going to find Psy Guy. It's a really good pick for him, but there are 3 down on the side of Ascent. The Meat Market's going to be pressuring on the point. Yite's going to come into contest. They're going to find the pick on the QQ. Skis is going to go down to Ash, though, and Ash is going to find Yite on the point, and it's going to be a cap out. Of course, is going to cap that one. It's going to be a 4-2 game.
Yeah, they're making this a little more competitive than I thought. I'd love to see them keep this up in these coming mid, and I'd like to see them have a game plan in this mid that's a little more than Laz messing up his speed shot.
Indeed, I think Meat Market's been able to win on most of the mids that Laz hasn't gone fast, and Laz is actually going to opt to play passively here. Broken going to be bombing in super high, getting some space for his team. And it looks like Ascent has a lot of the positioning on the point, but the soldiers are going to jump around for Meat Market. Ash going to meet up with this. Bot mode's going to find the frag onto Broking. Mensai is going to find the pick onto Jay. They're going to Demo's finding a soldier frag for their team. Bot mode's going to pipe down Corsa, though. Doing a really good job there of being able to find damage in this stalemate. And last in behind, he's on the QQ Psy Guy and Ninja Nick. Ninja Nick's going to go down. Ash is caught in the underpass area. Skis is not going to take a single point of damage from the Psy is going to be pressuring from the alley area. He's going to get the health pack and going to find a pipe on the Slemnish. He's getting healed, and Yite's there. They're going to clean up Psy Guy super late. And with the late death of Ninja Nick and Skis living, we're going to see full ad for Ascent here.
Yeah, during that mid fight, you actually saw both soldiers try and go onto Psy Guy, as we see Broking trying to pop that out of Skis, unable to do it. It looks like we're going to just go straight in with this. Why don't you tell us what's going on there?
Yep, so we're going to see the engineer come out from Corsa. They're not going to find a sentry gun. Ascent's going to pop their Uber on the point. Jay is going to finish off Ninja Nick. He's going to crater off the back of 2 nice rockets. Corsa's going to be pressuring the team back. And it looks like Psy Guy is going to get stickies on the point. Laz is going to go down. 2 down on the side of Ascent. And but Meat Market is so weak with no heals from Ninja Nick. Broken's going to come in on the respawn. Going to eat a ton of damage from Bomb. Going to get launched into the team. And it's just going to be QQ alive. Ascent is going to finish out this map 5-2 off the back of that very dominant mid.
Nick, did you say 5-2? In favor of Ascent?
I said it was going to be 4-2.
Oh no, I said it was going to be 5-2.
Oh yeah,
in favor of Ascent.
Really crazy predictions coming out of the builders.
Excuse me while I act just a little bit smug about that.
Gotta flex on these kids in chat who thought Meat Market was gonna win. I actually think Meat Market, when they slowed the game down, did a lot better. I think the first run that they got in the second half was kind of the first time the game slowed down. But as I was saying at the halftime, I think as the game kind of devolved and picks were traded out either way, Ascent was able to stay more collected and were playing together more than Meat Market were, whereas Meat Market kind of played their own games individually. And I think it really showed. And then when the game slowed down and they didn't just sack players over and over again on the side of Meat Market, and they really tried to play as a team, they were able to get out that first round, and then they got the second one off the back of a pretty dominant mid win. But again, they kind of slowed down the game and were able to kind of play as a team on that mid because Laz messed up his bomb, and we saw really good coordinated aggression on that mid from Ash and Broken. But when the game was really back and forth, Ascent always seemed to kind of come out on top. I think bot mode did a really good job of finding frags in the transitions, kind of making it so Ascent, whenever they had an advantage, that they kept getting advantages. Like they kept relaying picks, so they really get more than 1 point off of every advantage that they got. Whereas I think on the side of Meat Market, they were kind of all inning and trying to hope for picks on the flank that they weren't finding.
Yeah, it's interesting that we've been getting a little bit of a role reversal here. The ideas and the styles that these teams have built for themselves have kind of been swapped around a little bit. On that last mid, we actually saw both soldiers going aggressively into Psy. He was able to take down Laz, I believe, while he left Jay with just 10 or so health. But the fact that he had just been pushed out of that mid at all meant that that was a lot of damage presence that Meat Market was then missing, which, is a shame. If they'd had their scouts, maybe just one of them supporting Psy a little bit there, they would have killed the second soldier pretty easily, and they could have possibly won the mid off that. But, that's how the ball rolls.
Indeed. I don't know if you want to take a peek at the stats here at all. I don't know if you have those pulled up.
Yeah, I do, I think.
So I don't know if we want to peek into those, but
my stats are broken. Give me a second.
Broken.
Let me try this again. Okay,
so
now I do have the stats now.
All right. So I think the big standouts for me is I think top damaging in the server is Slemnish at 10,000 damage during that game, and with a big 33 for 14. Top fragging in the server had more than a dozen frags than anybody on the side of Meat Market. I'm sorry, that is not correct. Of course, I had 26 frags. So he had more than 5 frags than anybody else in the server. And I think the telling thing for Meat Market is Corsa is 26 for 16. He has pretty good stats. But Ash and Broking are 13 and 28 and 9 and 30 respectively. So
that 9 and 30 is a little rough.
Yeah. And I think in a lot of the transitions, they were throwing Broking in and Ash. They were kind of just hoping their shoulders were finding picks on the back line. But I think Ascent did a really good job of just not letting them have their way. And if they were getting anything, they were only getting one pick in exchange for both soldiers. And again, we see Laz and Jay on the other side of things at 21 and 19 and 15 and 20. And a lot of Meat Market has like relative deaths to each other. Like Psy Guy's at 17, Course at 16, Kyuki's at 14, Ninja Nick's at 10. But then their soldiers have 10 more deaths than anybody else in the server each. So we saw Meat Market just being down soldiers a lot of the time, just not giving them a lot to work with, especially on a very soldier dominant map like Metalworks. Metalworks is notoriously kind of a soldier playground with the ability to rocket jump between the high ground and the low ground. So I think the big thing is that the soldiers on Ascent just kind of played together with their team more, whereas conversely the Meat Market soldiers kind of played their own game looking for picks on the flank, and they weren't able to find what they wanted.
Yeah, the stats are a little telling. I think the most damning of those stats would be Broking going 9 and 30. And I think, you see that the scouts from Ascent were just shutting down those soldiers a little better, because it doesn't take a whole lot of damage out of your scattergun to sort of stop a soldier in his tracks when he's in the air. And so bombing soldiers is a valuable skill, and I think we kind of saw that a little bit of a workshop being shown by Slemnish.
Yeah, I would say Slemnish in particular did a really good job on a lot of the post fights, just cleaning up all the frag and not giving Meat Market anything for free. If they wanted to find any picks in the combo of Ascent, Slemnish was instantly there to trade up the frags. I think that's about all I have for Metalworks. What do you think Meat Market needs to change going into Ascent's map pick of Gully Wash?
I think they need to start getting some more frags, because that hasn't been going for them super well. I think that as a serious answer, they need to stay a little more cohesive in their pushes, and I think they need to to maybe go for aggressive plays that don't involve popping your Uber every time, because that hasn't been working out super well for them. Ascent has been a lot more efficient at protecting themselves and then re-engaging after the first fight.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Ascent just did a really good job of punishing the initial aggression and then re-pushing into their team once they had the soldier pick. I think going into Gully Wash, I'd like to see Meat Market try and play a slow game. Like I said, I think the first round that they got on Metalworks was about the 10-minute first round in the second half, them playing their own game. And when the game slows down and they're able to play together and not let Ascent like play the chaos game, they were able to find a lot more success. And I think it kind of forces their combo to play a little more cohesively, and it kind of forces the flank to slow down.
Yeah, I'll agree. You've said this before in previous games, and other people are saying it in chat that Gully Wash is Bro King's map, and if he's gonna start, pulling his weight and showing himself to be a better soldier than what his stats from the first map would suggest, then this is gonna be his opportunity.
Yes, this is notoriously the Bro King playground, as I mentioned it on the Monday night into Tuesday morning cast. In Meat Market's gone by, this has historically been Bro King's best map. So a little bit of I wouldn't say questionable pick, but you do have to have that thought in the back of your mind, like you are picking a player like Bro King's best map, and especially too, we saw against Chaos Control, when Bro King has his way, he's able to do a ton of work. And we saw it specifically on this map. Even though Chaos Control won it, Bro King was still doing a ton of work for his team.
And, so it does raise the question of, does Ascent know something? What makes him so confident picking that map? Because this is playoffs. You're not picking maps for no reason.
I think it's kind of what we saw in the first map, where their soldiers are doing a really good job of staying alive and doing a lot of what the Meat Market soldiers are doing, where they're making a lot of space for the team and giving their team a lot of space to work with and opening things up for their team, but they're doing a lot better job of staying alive. They're doing it in a little more passive way, where they're bombing in and then kind of just rotating back around to get healed or getting health packs in the flank. Whereas the Meat Market soldiers are kind of all-inning and just going for the full commit plays. And I think that's what Meat Market can do better on Gully Wash. I think it is a little bit better to play a very aggressive soldier style on this map. And it's a little bit harder to do that if you're Ascent, where you just bomb in and then bomb back out, or bomb in and like rotate back around. The chokes are a lot less forgiving on this map compared to Metalworks. Metalworks, you have a lot more areas that are open, whereas Gully Wash is very, very choky. So being able to hold the chokes is a lot easier. And one thing I want to point out is we saw May on the last series that we saw was running the lock and load. We see Saigai, at least in the pregame, is running it. So you're going to be seeing a little bit of strat stealing here from Saigai.
Yeah, I think that we can kind of sit here and we can speculate and we can talk about trends and all that, but I think the biggest thing that's holding Meat Market back is just that the first map had some very poor soldier play. So I think in general, if they can step up their game and just play even at a more average pace, I think that you'll see Meat Market finding a lot more success.
Yeah, and this is a map that I think plays either very, very slowly or very, very quickly, and I think if they play the slow game, they will find themselves with a lot more success than they found in map 1. And conversely, I think Metalworks kind of always is very back and forth. I think the only real stalemates are kind of from mid to 2, but the people who hold mid kind of have a very easy avenue of breaking the stalemate, because they do have a lot better options for sending sacks into 2, and it's so hard to counter sack from Metalworks 2 into mid. Just being able to go from the Valley High Bomb just to land anywhere in second that you want, basically having no counter sack opportunity, gives you so much to work with. And Ascent did a really good job of winning the mids and staying in control of mids and pushing back in off spawn advantages, or even heal advantages in a couple scenarios. And they just did a really good job holding on to mid, so they had a lot more options to break the stalemate. Whereas on Gully Wash, it's a little more even from any given point. There's a lot of options for quick soldier bombs from mid into 2 and 2 into mid respectively, and even from last to 2 and 2 to last. So it's going to see a lot more opportunities, I think, for Meat Market, even if they are on the back foot initially. Assuming the mids keep going Ascent way, then we're going to see a lot more opportunities for Bro King and Ash to make plays on the other side of things. This is also a mid, though, where coordinating your shoulder bombs into the same place can also be kind of a punishment. So I think the soldiers bombing in separate places, kind of doing their own things, may favor meat market more.
Yeah, I think that Metalworks is a lot of very long, windy flanks, but Gollywash is very tight, compact map. So if things happen, they happen very quickly. There's not a lot of opportunity to just abandon your plan like there could be in Metalworks. So, I think that things have to be much more decisive.
Yep, so we are going to be going live here. We're going to be seeing the first mid. It looks like bot mode's going to be rolling out to choke along with Psy Guy. So both demos rolling out to their choke, going to be looking for early damage on the other team. We're going to see a really high bomb out of Ash really quickly. Going to be shooting a couple rockets at Jay. Broking's going to be jumping into the other team's big door while Ash re-jumps around. Course is going to get the pick onto Laz early, but Slemnish and Botman are going to find Broking and QQ really, really early. Jay's on the floor. Corsa is going to chase Corsa and Jay into the floor. He's going to go down. We're going to trade out, but Psy Guy with the 2 pipes onto Skis with the lock-in load. Going to take down Skis really late into the mid. And it's going to be Ninja Nick and Ash for Meat Market. Ascent is going to win up. Oh, but Bot mode chased from Big Door and stickied up the shutter. So when Ash and Ninja Nick were getting chased down by Yite, they just backed up into the sticky trap from bot mode. So it looked like a really good scenario from Meat Market, despite losing the mids. Actually going to turn into a little bit of a catastrophe. Skis is only going to have about a 15% Uber ad. Ninja Nick had a really fast spawn, and Skis had a fairly long spawn. But we are going to see Meat Market push back to their last off the loss of that mid. We are going to see Ascent collecting Meat Markets too.
Yeah, I think that I like the lock and load. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly the strategical advantage that the lock and load offers is. I think maybe just it offers some better spam if you know that people are going to be there. There's not as much opportunity to try and dodge it. But now we're going to see Ninja Nick actually getting a pretty big disadvantage here. Getting down to about 30%. Ascent has a real option to go in right now, but they may not realize that the advantage is as big as they think it is.
Yeah, what was originally a 20% ad actually grew to almost 40%. Ninja Nick doesn't look like he's hard building at all. Ascent did a really good job of hard building as well. Skis and Co, but it doesn't look like they know about it. It's hard to know about something like that when it's a small Uber ad. Like, you can kind of pay attention to the other team not building, but a soldier could be standing out with the escape plan, or somebody could just be eating spam damage. So it's really hard to know if a team isn't building really well. So we're gonna see the point play from Laz. Laz is gonna be in on the. He's gonna get so much cap time. Sai's gonna go down. Broking's gonna go down. Corsa's gonna die as well. 3 down for this head of Meat Market. They're gonna use Yite and Laz on the other side of things. Ascent actually got their Uber forced off. Ninja Nick has his Uber. He's gonna be on point. Jay is gonna be jumping in, and QK's gonna go down. It's just Ash and Ninja Nick. Jay is above the point, threatening the potential cap. Ash and Ninja Nick are gonna be stuck on the point. Jay is actually out of rockets. It looks like he's just gonna be running around in the secret area. Ash is gonna eventually collect that one. We're gonna see the 3 spawners come in for Meat Market, but that looked really scary for them for a few moments with all of that cap time and being down 3 players.
Yeah, that was a really weird push. The sentry came up clutch, and it entirely denied both Slemnish and I believe it was Laz from figuring out what they wanted to do and getting themselves into a good situation. It wasn't Laz, it was Jay. Laz went down early. And it completely kept them from getting in from that river area. However,
and Laz is going to sneak in on the point from Rick. Corsa and Broking both went down. Ascent was just pressuring, and Laz just snuck in from the water area, and you just capped it out. Skis calling this C9 in the chat. That's the wrong game, Skis. What are you doing, man? So we're going to see the 1-0 for Ascent. Fairly early, about a 4-minute round there. Bot mode is going to be a little bit faster to mid than Psy Guy. Going to be looking for some early damage on Meat Market. Psy Guy is pretty aggressive from his perspective. Jay going to be high bombing, showing the military. Ash is going to get Laz really early into this mid, so we're going to see a soldier advantage for Meat Market. And it looks like Ascent is just going to be leaving the mid off the back of that. Jay's going to pogo. Skis is pretty hurt along with bot mode, but neither of them are going to die. It looks like Ninja Nick and Corsa are super aggressive in the big door while the rest of the team is pressuring in the choke. Jay is going to find Broking in the choke point, going to juggle him, and it looks like Ascent is just wanting to commit through the choke point. Corsa and Kuki on the point. They're actually going to lose Ninja Nick, but Yite and Slemnish are both going to go down for Ascent. So it's a 3v4 for Ascent, but we do see 2 scouts left for Meat Market, and but the Ascent is just going to ball up and threaten both of the Meat Market scouts with no heals. They're just going to back up. Ascent is going to get the mid. They're going to be locking out the chokes, just capping up here. Meat Market actually got all their forward spawns, so they're going to be trying to pressure into. Broking was trying to get in from the drop down area, but Jay was able to shut that one down really early. And it looks like off the back of that, along with Skis' full Uber, we're just going to see Meat Market backing up. And Ascent's going to be trying to get into 2 from the big door area.
Yeah, what you saw there was poor, over-aggressive play from Meat Market. You saw Corsa peeking that big door. Yite saw that NinjaNick was there, and Ascent just said, all right,
Ash is behind the rock. It was Skis' climb. They haven't checked it. Ash is still behind the rock, and they have no idea he's there. Ash doesn't go out before they cap, but he is behind the other team. NinjaNick's actually going to come up on his Uber, so despite the fact that they were at a pretty big Uber, Ascent took a very long time to cap up on the point, and it's going to even out, but Ash is still behind, and I don't think anybody on Ascent knows about it.
And I don't know if anybody on Ascent is going to know about it, because this has been going on a lot longer than it needs to. Ash needs to try and make something happen sooner rather than later, or Ascent is just going to push in.
Yeah, and we are going to see, we should see a play out of Ascent, considering they do hold. We're going to see Slumdish run in from main, going to get 2-rocketed by Broking. Going to go down. We're going to see the point try and come out from left. Is going to find a decent amount of cap time, but Ash is going to jump in from river. He's going to find some decent damage to Yite, but he's going to go down for Saiga. Is going to eventually claim the frag onto left, and Yite is in the water area as well. Is going to go down. So we're going to see 3 down on the side of Ascent and only 1 down on the side of Meat Market. Ascent is just holding in their upper. They're going to get their spawns very shortly, but Ash is going to come up on the spawn. They are 6 up on Meat Market, and it looks like Broking and Sai are going to be pressuring from the upper area. And Broking's going to jump in. He's going to get the force onto Skis. Really good play from Broking there.
Yeah, that play at the end by Ash was just really awkward. He tried to come in and wasn't able to find anything. And then, you know, the jig was up there, multiple players trying to go water. It was a good bomb out of Broking, but I'm not really sure what Ascent was trying to accomplish there.
And NinjaNick's actually sitting on the sticky. Oh, there was a very brief moment of danger there. Bot mode had stickies on the stairs, and NinjaNick was on the very edge of the staircase. Looks like Meat Market is going to be pushing in. Laz is going to get down to NinjaNick. Going to find one good rock, along with a little bit of spam damage, and NinjaNick's going to get forced off. Yite is going to get juggled in the choke and go down. But Laz is actually behind. He's going to be going towards Laz. Kyuki has a sentry gun on Laz, though, however. And Jay is going to find the pick onto Broking. Laz is in the back lines. It's a mere 8 HP. He's going to be in the upper area, but essentially going to be capping it. Going to be trying to contest the cap from Meat Market. Laz is going to die, but Ash and Corsa go down. Slumdish and Botmode claiming those frags. And with the re-aggression, they're going to sign themselves 3 down on the side of Meat. They are going to... Kyuki's going to get the pick on the Slumdish, but Sai is going to go down. It is just Kyuki and NinjaNick for the next 6 seconds, while Ash and Corsa are going to come up on those. They're trying to get the gun. Jay's not able to find it, and Botmode's not able to get an angle from Mate. They're going to finally find the angle from Mate. Ski's going to be popping off his Uber, but they are going to lose Yite off it. It's just bot mode, and they're not able to get the sentry gun. The sentry gun's living for so long, and the entire Uber charge was wasted on just trying to get an angle on the gun that didn't even go down.
Cookie's just so freaking good an engineer. His sentry guns throughout this playoffs have been incredibly valuable, stalling out entire pushes across multiple maps. As we saw Lazzy get caught behind during that push out from Meat Market, as Cookie says in chat, this is my class. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how well he's doing it. As I was saying, Laz getting caught behind in there as Meat Market tries to push out, he was a lot more successful with his endeavors. As we see,
so we're going to see the double
bomb.
soldier bomb from Meat Market. They're going to be trying to find Skis. Ash is going to claim the frag on that one, but both soldiers are going to go down. Yite is going to go down to Psy Guy in the shoulder area who's trying to pressure for a back cap, but they are 3 down on Meat Market. Corsa is going to get collected by bot mode, and Laz is going to get Ninja. So what looked like a really good push out of last from Meat Market is actually going to turn into a 2 for Ascent, and a really big Uber head for Skis as NinjaNick is going to spawn in another 10 seconds here.
Yeah, and we're going to need to see some God plays out of Cookie in case they push in before, Meat Market's ready for that. The double bomb with the Uber was an interesting idea, pushing out from Meat Market, but I think Ascent was a little bit ready for that. They were a little bit too well positioned to really be able to find a comfortable place to get them.
Yep, so we are going to see Skis with about a 25% advantage over NinjaNick. Ascent is just going to be pressuring in the meantime, trying to get the sentry gun down from QQ. We're going to see the double soldier spam from River Art is going to get the gun. Laz is actually kind of caught in the water area, though. Barking's going to be pushing it really hard. Laz is going to get an arrow, though. Looking for another arrow, looks like. And Laz is going to stay in the water area as Ascent comes up on the oop. They're going to pop in from the riverside, taking bot mode and Slumdish. They're going to find a ton of damage onto Ash. Broking's going to go down as well. No soldiers on the side of Meat Market. Corsa is in the secret area as Pyro is going to go down as well. Slumdish claiming another front. And they're just going to get onto the point. QQ, NinjaNick, and Sai all stuck in spawn. It's going to be another round for Ascent. We're going to see 2-0.
Yeah, I think that going into this mid, I'd like to see what Broking does, because we've been talking about this being his map a lot. Let's see what he does here. Let's see what kind of plans he has for this mid fight.
Yep, so we're going to see a really aggressive bomb out of Laz instantly, and on the side guy, another 2 good directs. Laz with another really aggressive bomb coming in from his, what we saw on the last mid. Going to claim side guy early. King eating a ton of damage, but SlimeNick is going to be the second frag in this mid, and Meatmarket is really healthy on their side, whereas Ascent is not very healthy. Jay is going to go down as well. We're going to be 4 down. Bomb mode's going to die. It's just going to be Yite and Skis. Despite Laz's really early play on the side guy, he's the only death for Meatmarket on the mid, and we're going to see Meatmarket claiming the midpoint, and they should claim 2 as well.
Yeah, we saw Meatmarket being able to close that fight out a lot better. As you mentioned, their health was very good, and you saw their bombs being a little more fruitful as they... actually, real quick, we have SlimeNick on Sniper, peeking into exactly where these players are going. Let's see if he's able to find anything here, Nick.
Yep. He's going to eat a ton of spam, though. Both of the soldiers peeking at the up top area. He's just going to be rotating back. We're going to see Broking in from the main area looking to make a play, but a nice pipe from Botmo is going to shut him down. So that is the 1 player sack out of Meatmarket. Again, what I was saying on Metalworks with their multiple player sacks, they weren't able to find much, and Ascent was able to push off it, and it looks like they're making the adaptation to just sack the single player. SlimeNick and Jay are aggressive in the top area, and SlimeNick is going to get the pick on the side. SlimeNick went down super weak. Yeah, he was 1 HP, but he was still able to find the pick. He's going to meet up with the rest of his team. SlimeNick with a ton of room, and Laz is going to jump in and find the force on the Ninja Nick. Laz is going to continue jumping around. He's going to find a nice direct on the Broking as well before going down. Ascent is just going to retreat to their last, making sure there's 0 threat for Skis to get his Uber counter forced off. They're going to probably wait for their spawn from Laz before pushing out, but a really good play from Ascent off the back of that headshot.
Yeah, I've been incredibly impressed with Laz's play all series. You know, I'm not saying that he was some underrated threat, but the stuff he's been doing and the way he's been doing it has been incredibly impressive. You know, he didn't really do this kind of stuff as often. I saw him with some nice bombs on propaganda and stuff like that, but he's been really coming out in full force as we see Ascent winning the push out here into second, taking back Gully Wash. Second, Ninja Nick has about a 40% disadge, and you might see Ascent just go straight in with it.
Yep, and we did see Skis was able to hold on to his Uber that entire time. Ash went for a play, but he only found SlimeNick in the upper area. So it looks like Skis and Co are actually just going to hold 2. I think they fear the Meatmarket Uber, which isn't quite up yet. Ninja Nick's at about 100, just claiming up his Uber. But Broking's going to bomb in from the choke point, going to find a really nice 2 rockets onto Ski. Skis was not able to force the first one away. They're going to get forced off. SlimeNick tried to chase into mid with the Uber charge. They're trying to get a counter force on the Ninja Nick, but they're not going to find... Yite is actually back-capping mid, it looks like. QQ is going to try and contest him there, but Meatmarket was able to try and get in. Actually, did Ninja Nick drop his Uber? Did I miss that?
I think, yeah, that happened. It looks like he went down to a bot mode trap.
Yeah, so the trap, again, bomb mode coming up huge. We saw it on the last map where he was able to drop Ninja Nick where nobody was checking for stickies. So we are going to see Kyuki's going to find the cap onto 2, but Ascent's going to repush off the back of their spawn advantage. And we're just going to see both teams, Saigai and Broking, are going to come in the choke from heals, but Jay's going to be bombing it. Going to find a really good 2 rockets on the Ninja Nick. Oh, but Ash was on last, but they were able to contest. Laz was able to get onto the point in time, and Ascent was able to cap it. 3 down on the side of Ascent, but 3 down for Meatmarket as well. And Ninja Nick is amongst the victims. So we are going to see Ascent playing around Skis. Yite is in the mid trying to find Saigai, but he's going to go down. 2 soldiers are going to come up for the side of Ascent, while Meatmarket gets all of their spawners. There are no scouts for Ascent, but Skis does have a 50% Uber.
It's worth noting that Ash is still in the back. We've seen this before, although he is getting chased down now by Ascent. They did not want to wait for it to become a problem. So you're going to see Ascent with about a 50% ad and a player up. But this is still a bit of a hard point to push into. If they go, it's going to have to be now. We have Broking actually hiding above this choke, which can be a smart place, but most teams are expecting it. I'd like to see what he's able to find here.
And Jay was able to get in from the drop-down area, but he jumped into the entirety of Meatmarket, so he went down. Broking's going to basically counter-stack off the back of... Kyuki's going to win a 1v1 with Yite in the banana area from his perspective, but SlimeNick is going to trade out the frag. 2 down for both teams. Kyuki with the cat face in the chat off the back of that cheeky 1v1 mid win, but we are going to see Ascent with the Uber. Ninja Nick and Co are about 90%. They are going to be trying to contest from the upper area, and Ninja Nick's going to come up on his Uber, so they are going to be looking to take an exchange to try and get this point back. Corsa is going to be getting really aggressive. SlimeNick and Laz are going to be in on the point. Laz is going to get the force out of Ninja Nick. He's going to be the only death. Jay is going to be trying to get healed from Skis, but Broking's going to go down before the arrow comes. And we are going to see the Uber from Ninja Nick fading. Well, Skis has yet to pop it. Kyuki and Broking are going to go down, and Skis has yet to pop his Uber. And Ash is going to bomb back in, and Corsa's going to find the force, eventually getting enough damage onto bot mode. But with 3 down, and they're going to be chased. NinjaNick getting a bunch of damage in the main. Slumnish was chasing him down, but they're not going to find the frag. We are going to see some spawns come in from Meat Market, with their soldiers coming up shortly as well. But Zyg is going to go down. Slumnish is going to claim that frag, so it looks like Ascent's going to try and roll this into Laz. The soldiers are just coming into position now. We're going to see Laz bombing in, trying to make some space for his team. Bot moves in on the pipe. Slumnish is going to be the first death of the... Broking is going to find skis, however, and Corsa is going to get yiked. So it's looking good for Meat Market with the defender's advantage here. Jay's going to be trying to pressure from the riverside, and bot mode's in from main. NinjaNick's so weak. Bot mode's going to find the frag onto NinjaNick from main. Jay is going to go down. Laz is going to trade out with Corsa. We're going to see a full wipe on the side of Ascent, with Ash and Saigai being the only 2 survivors from Meat Market.
Yeah, I'm concerned that with Ascent already coming through Big Door, they may just be able to try and push straight back in. You know, they only have 2 players up, but they're about to get another 3. It looks like things are going to be able to even back out. That was certainly an interesting fight. I saw some great bombs coming out of Laz and Jay, especially Laz, who just bombed into the last point spawn, hung out for a second, and then bombed back in, putting some great damage into him. And then you saw bot mode come in with some god pipes, able to take out NinjaNick, able to get Corsa very low, I believe it was. And now you're going to see Meat Market trying to poke and prod and see if there's a way that they can push back out. You're going to have NinjaNick with about a 15% disadvantage, and there's only 1 player down for each team.
We do see the Slumnish sniper out of the side of Ascent. He is outside on 2, climbing. Going to be rotating towards that river area. And it looks like NinjaNick, off some crafty building, is actually going to make this advantage disappear entirely, while Ascent is not hard building on the other side of things. We saw kind of the chaos push out of Ascent. They tried to roll in off spawn, and then Meat Market tried to go while Slumnish was still down, and Ascent wasn't quite set up, but they weren't able to find anything. They just ended up making it into a sack from Broking. And we're going to see the QK Engineer once again for the defenses. QK back on his class. Be setting up another cheeky center gun, while Slumnish is going to be trying to peek in from the river area. They are going to find the frag on the center gun. Jay's going to get that one, and QK's down super weak. He's able to get back into spawn. We're going to see the Corsa Pyro come out, and NinjaNick is actually playing on the floor very close to main. If somebody was able to peek main, they were a brief moment of danger before Ash rotated in. But NinjaNick's actually holding really aggressively on the floor. Very scared of the sniper from Slumnish, who's going to go down to Saigai. Sai's going to find the nice 2-pipe in the river area. Corsa's going to find a reflect onto Jay. He's going to go down very weak. He's able to go back to his team and go back to the health pack, but Corsa playing the Pyro class, just hitting the mouse 2, countering the soldier class.
Yeah, Ascent has been making a much bigger effort to try and stop Cookie from setting up this engineer. However, he has gotten his level 2 up. You actually did see it pretty effectively stifle Jay there. And I think at this point they kind of just want to sit on this Slumnish sniper and wait until he finds a shot, because they are up 2 points. And, you know, the onus is on Meat Market to push out here.
Yep, they can seriously sit on this 2-point advantage for the rest of the game. We already see Broking is going to go down to a cheeky trap from bomb mode in the shutter area. We're going to see if Ascent tries to go off anything from that. They're pulling stickies in the river side that Sai had set up, but it looks like they're not going to find anything while he is yeah, Broking is still down. Corsa is so aggressive in the river area. He's actually going to claim the frag onto Slumnish. He's going to be flaming down Yite as well. Yite is down so weak. But Corsa's going to back off, and Yite's going to collect the pack. Really good play coming out of Corsa, just showing his DM prowess even on Pyro, and Corsa is not done. He's continued to pressure down the river. Jay is going to eventually shoot rockets at the Pyro and claim that. And Laz is actually going to win. I believe there's a 1v1 with Ash in the main area, so 2 down for Meat Market, despite the really aggressive Pyro play coming out of Corsa. And yeah, Skis and Co are going to pop their Uber through the shutter. They're going to be trying to look for an exchange. They are going to get the pop out of Broking and Co, but Broking is a much better Uber, but a 50% better Uber. Bomb mode is going to find the gun, and Broking's actually getting juggled in. He's not going to find the frag. Oh, he's eventually going to find the frag on the bomb mode. Was a full 260 health getting healed. They're going to trade out bot mode for Broking. I think it's better for Broking, however, bot mode being a demo man, Broking being a sold. Laz is actually going to sneak into the riverside. I don't think anybody saw him while the rest of Ascent pressures. Slumnish is going to get the full charge body shot in from main, going to claim Cuke. And Yite and Co are going to be trying to pressure here. Laz is going to be taking a 1v1 with Ash in the river area, and Ash going to be looking for an arrow on point. Laz is going to bomb in from the riverside on about 40 HP. Lena NinjaNick's had a clean 2 rockets to take him down. Corsa's going to get the frag. Jay is going to get Broking as well. Just 2 up for Meat Market. Kiki's going to come in off the respawner. Corsa's going to get Yite, but Slumnish is going to full charge body shot Corsa. Jay is going to get Sai, and Bottom was going to 2-pipe down Kuki. Ash and NinjaNick are in on the respawner, but really good pipe from Bot Mode's going to juggle Ash away from the off the very long and scrappy DM fight, Ascent is going to take the half 3-0.
Yeah, that water play from Laz went about as well as you could have hoped. He sat down there for a bit. He pressured players. He made them stop what they were doing and look behind them. He managed to get out, and then on top of all of that, he managed to bomb into last and take down Ninja Nick. You know, we were singing Laz's praises earlier, but it's important to understand just how fantastic of a water play that was when his original point was just to sort of sit back there and make people look at him. You couldn't have asked for that to go better.
Yeah, he very, very intelligent play coming out of Laz, knowing that Ash was normally the one watching River for Meat Market, since Ash got a buff and tried to counter him behind the point, looking for the 1v1. When they traded off the damage, Ash rotated around to the point looking for an arrow, and Laz just rotated back around to the riverside, jumped in completely for free, landed on Ninja Nick's head, and took him down with a clean 2 rockets.
Yeah, it was pretty well played. I saw some earlier sneaky play from Laz. He was able to pick off Ash, but I think Slemnish was really finding his rhythm there at the end of that. He was really hitting some good shots, and Meat Market has their work cut out for him here in the second half.
They really do. I don't know if we want to take a peek at the stats while we wait for the teams to ready up, but the big standout stats to me right now is Laz. Actually, I'm sorry. Laz is doing a pretty good job compared to his soldier counterparts, and he is going a big 10 for 13, so he has the roamer stat line. He's only doing 206 DPM, but it's a relatively low damaging game. It looks like on the side of Ascent, Yite is actually struggling. He's only 5 for 11 right now. He is playing Flank Scout, so it is a pretty difficult ask to get really good stats, and on his counterpart, Kyuki has been playing a lot of Engineer. But the big standouts to me is Jay is at a big 364 DPM, going 16 for 10. Slemnish is 22 for 12. And on the side of Meat Market, Corsa is 18 for 10, so he's doing a pretty good job. Sai is doing a big 322 DPM. But again, the soldiers from Meat Market appear to be struggling. Ash is 9 for 11, and Broking is 5 for 21 right now.
Oh, ugh. That's an ugly stat. 5 for... God.
I know we were talking about maybe seeing some improved play from Broking, but it looks like he's struggling even more on this map, and that's not what you want to see when this is notoriously your map.
Yeah, this is, sorry, I was thinking about making a joke, I don't know if I should. Yeah, you've been seeing some kind of poor soldier play out of Meat Market, and that's still been their weakness this whole time, but I think that's just part of the... part and parcel of what you get when you're playing against a scout combo like Yite and Slemnish. I think they need to play with that in mind a little more if they want to try and beat that, because they're not really giving these scouts the respect that they should.
Indeed. So we are going to see Ascent is up 3-0. Meat Market is down 3 rounds. What does Meat Market need to change in order to try and make it a little more competitive with Ascent and maybe take this map back?
Well, you know, the mid fights haven't been going that badly for them, but every time they win a mid, Ascent pushes back in, and Meat Market seems completely flabbergasted by it. They never expect Ascent to push in, and it's happened roughly 30 times over the course of the last 40 minutes of gameplay. So I think if they prepare for that and they actually shoot at some choke points, you could see things go a little bit better for them.
Yeah, and it looks like from what I saw, the few times that Meat Market was able to win the mid, they were only really able to get Ascent onto the last very briefly before Ascent was able to push back into 2. We are going to go live in the second half. Who are the players to watch on these mids?
Well, you know, I think my player to watch is going to be Laz. He's been doing well, and I want to see what kind of stuff he has in playing for this mid, as he already goes really fast, hanging out underneath the point. What do you see, Nick?
Yep, so we are going to see a really late push up from Meat Market onto the Ascent side. Ninja Nick's going to be the first out of the mid. A really good coordinated soldier bomb from Laz and Jay, but Skis is going to go down to Ash. So we are going to see, despite the really aggressive play from Ascent soldiers finding the med really early, we are going to see them losing out this mid. Everybody on Meat Market is so weak, however. QQ is down to 10 HP, Broking is 40 HP, or 14 HP, I'm sorry, and then Ash is down to 29, so... a very close mid, despite the fact that it was 4 up for Meat Market. A little bit of spam damage or one scout living a little bit longer could have been the easy swing of momentum.
Yeah, and we see Sai setting up some traps here. It'd be good to see if he's able to find anything, because that kind of momentum push is really what Meme Market needs right now. But I think just being able to close out this point specifically and convert it into a last push is something that they need more than anything, because it's something that's been really giving them a lot of
and Sai
trouble.
is going to claim 2. The stickies above the shutter were cleared originally, but upon the repush, they were going to go down. Sai claiming 2 frags. Broking jumped into the shutter really aggressively and got everybody from Ascent to turn around, and Meat Mark is able to get a ton of space off of it. Slam Ninja is going to make a huge play in from upper, is going to pistol down Ninja Nick, and Slam Ninja is going to claim Sai Guy as well. It's Corsa versus Slam Ninja. Slam Ninja is going to lose that one to Corsa, but after claiming 3 frags at the end of that DM fight, he was able to get what he wanted already despite dying to Corsa. So off of the really good play from the Meat Market Soldiers, Ascent, their scouts coming up huge, able to claw back in that DM fight. Meat Market is trying to push back into mid while Ascent is trying to get in with their spawns. Bombo needing a ton of damage in the choke point. He's actually going to get stuck in. Sai Guy's stickies are cutting him off. He's going to get arrowed a couple times by skis, but Spot Mode should go down shortly. QQ was on his head, had no idea where he was. Laz is going to collect Broking in the choke point, but it looks like Ascent is going to be on the back foot. Laz is going to be bombing in, going to be looking for the frag on Ninja Nick. Not going to find a single rocket in a really good movement coming out of Ninja Nick. And it looks like Meat Market is eventually going to claim their stake on Ascent 2, despite the really scrappy DM fight.
All right, they have an opportunity here. It's not something they can push off of. But, you know, this is the first time that they've found themselves with a chance to sit down for a second and figure out what they want to do on this last. So they need to choose carefully.
I think they've already figured out. I think they figured out the Broking spy. I don't think anybody from Ascent knows. He is in the secret area. He's going to be looking for, I would assume, the pick onto skis here. QQ is actually underneath the point trying to clear stickies very sneakily. They are going to get the det out of bot mode. QQ is going to come in onto the point. He's going to get some cap time. And Broking's in on the skis, but Skis knows it. He's going to find a butter knife and a pistol into him. Skis down to about 70 HP, but Broking was unsuccessful in his spy play. Oh, but Bomb Mode's going to go down to Sai Guy. Bomb Mode is pressuring in the Riverside, so this is an opportunity for Ascent with no stickies to deny the point. This Gully Wash can be a really hard point to hold. Looks like QQ is in the water area. Laz and Slemnish are both there to try and meet. And QQ's going to find a big 2-shot on the Laz. He's very, very weak. He's down to 13 HP. Laz is able to get the 112 damage rocket into him, but Slemnish is going to trade out the frag. Eventually Broken going into the water, however. I don't know if anybody knows about it. Bot Mode's going to come up on the spawn. He's going to be trying to relay stickies, but Broken is behind the point, and I don't think anybody knows about it. Yep, he's just going to get on the point, but he's going to fake him out. He's going to jump in the ski. He's going to find a decent first rocket, but Jay was able to clean him up after he got pinned by the sentry gun.
I'm not sure if Broking realized that the sentry had been moved to the other side of the point, because that was a bomb that suggests that it was still over here by the spawn door. I like the aggressive point pushing that they've got. I think that they might not expect a second spy play. That might be nice to see, as Broking does end up spawning on Soldier. If they get a pick on bot mode again, they need to just, you know, ball up and go for it, because that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is kind of tough to capitalize off a demo advantage when both teams have Uber. Laz is going to go down super weak. He's going to eat a bunch of damage from the Riverside. He's going to back off. Laz is eventually going to go down, though. Broken going to be claiming that frag, who is pretty weak. He went down to 20 HP. I believe there was a 1v1. I think Laz was behind, yeah. So we're going to see Meat Market with a player advantage. I'd like to see them just try and spam down the gun from like the double soldier spam from River, or maybe peek their demo from main and try and get some opportunities to send Saxon. Again, I do think the slower play does favor Meat Market here. We saw it in the last map, the one very slow round that was Meat Market's round. They are pressuring from the Riverside like I called for it. They are trying to get the gun down, but Ascent's doing a really good job of just body blocking, and Laz is going to find the counter pick onto Broking. Ash is going to find the pick onto Slemnish. Looks like Slemnish just kind of ran in looking for any sort of counter stack. Got some decent damage into Ninja Nick, who's down to about 60 HP, but he's going to pick up the pack, and he's going to regen up to 150. The spawns are going to come in for both teams as things kind of calm down.
Yeah, I think that what is really stopping Meat Market is this sentry, and I think they need to, you know, treat it with the same respect that Ascent was treating theirs. They're not making nearly as much of an effort to try and get that sentry down, and it's really being a big thorn in their side as they make an attempt to push into last.
Yep, and we're going to see Jay pressuring Broking really hard in the main area. Broking down to about 26 HP. Sai was peeking in from the launch pad area, trying to find some spam on the sentry. I think Meat Market just should at this point look for literally anything. It looks like Sai is again going to try and spam down the center gun. They're getting the gun down very weak, but they're not able to collect the frag on the gun. I think maybe trying to run a any sort of sniper or some off class would be benefiting them, because I think right now they just need a pick to work with. Because I think when Ascent is 6 up, they are just going to rotate their heals and put a buff soldier between the center gun and whoever's trying to spam. Broking is going to go down to Slemish in the river area. Slemish is going to get pressured back by Corset with the heal beam. So he's just going to have to rotate out of there, not going to find much else. Laz is going to bomb in, trying to look for damage on the Ash. And Slemish is going to go down. Sai is going to be peeking in from the main area, going to collect that one. So we do see a pick on the side of a Meat Market. This is what I said they needed. They are trying to pressure the gun. It looks like Sai is going to be pressuring from the shutter, getting a lot of damage on the gun, but they're not going to get much else. Jay is going to trade out with Sai Guy in the shutter area to some self-damage. They're both going to die to the self-damage, essentially. So we do see the demo down for Meat Market, but Ascent is down to Soldier. I don't know if they're going to try and go for it. It looks like Broking is spamming rockets onto the point to try and clear potential stickies from bomb mode to maybe set up a point play. And Laz is going to find a really good damage into Ninja Nick, but he's going to go down to a clean 2 rockets from Ash. He was able to flank up the stairs. Despite the fact that nothing's really happening for either team, it is pretty interesting because players are going for plays consistently.
Yeah, I think an effort to try and pressure the point again might be in order, because they need to try and dislodge these players somehow, or at least put these players in somewhere that they can expect them to be. You know, trying to put some pressure on some point would draw people over to them, and it might give them, as they actually just Uber straight in onto this gun. Sai is able to take it down, as we don't really have much else going on. We have Broking under point, but he's easily taken out by Slemnish and bot mode spamming stickies, and Meat Market are just going to back off for now with a 100% Uber disadvantage. I'm not entirely sure what they were trying to accomplish there. You didn't really see any soldiers getting in on the last point at all.
Yep, and we're going to see Ascent pushing out from the upper area. They're going to deny Ash expertly. Slemish putting a ton of damage. Ash, but Ash is going to get the force anyway, despite the fact that his initial bomb got absolutely nothing. He got denied super hard, but they kind of wrote him off for dead, and he was able just to rebomb in, get a nice rocket on the skis, landing on his head, forcing that Uber off. Broking's going to be in mid, looking for damage onto Slemish. He's going to get him down fairly weak, who's going to meet up with heals. Broking is going to go down to Laz, however, and with one down and Ninja Nick not being up on his Uber, Ascent is going to claim the midpoint.
Yeah, they were already on the back foot walking out of that mid, and them just walking with the Uber only made it harder. You saw Sai and Corsa kind of get stuffed in this choke a little bit, as it seems like they maybe want to come back in, as they're going to have their full Uber, they're going to have 6 players. This is a good opportunity for them.
Yep, so they're going to get forced. Oh, no, they're not going to get forced off in the choke point quite yet. Ninja Nick eating a bunch of spam, down to about 80 HP, going to regen up. Yite is going to go down. He's going to be the first frag from this. And Ash is going to get a really nice rocket into Lat, and it looks like Sai Guy is going to be the only death. Jay was able to trade out on that one, but 3 down for Ascent. Skis is at about 90%, but it looks like Meat Market should claim mid, and Skis is going to get forced in the upward. The Burking is going to find that one. Burking getting some pretty good forces along with Ash in the last couple of fights here. Ninja Nick still has yet to use his Uber. It looks like Corsa and Ninja Nick are in the upper area and behind the entirety of Ascent. So Ascent is actually repping them on mid, though. They're going to be getting out-capped. Sai Guy's going to be trying to contest. He's going to get some decent damage, but Ascent is just going to cap them on mid while Meat Market is stuck behind. And it looks like Ascent is just going to keep going. They're going to try and go to 2. Broking's going to be doing his damage to contest from upper, but they're going to be capping out. And it looks like Meat Market is finally going to get the advantage here. They're going to be out-capping Ascent. Laz and Skis are going to go down for Ascent. Slimish is going to follow, but Broking is going to go down as a consolation prize along with QQ. Bomb Mode claiming both of the frags for his team, but Ascent is down for 4, soon to be 5 players. Jay should go down shortly, getting chased down by Corsa. Oh, some smooth moves from Jay, able to make it out of the main area. Yite is just going to be setting up a gun on his lap. Clem just going to spawn up on Pyro. Ninja Nick with about a 70% Uber advantage.
Yeah, that was a very awkward series of plays. I'm not sure if Ascent needed to back off when they were capping second point, but they decided to, and now we have Meat Market trying to push into last.
Yeah, but Sai Guy is still down, and QQ's going to go down. Jay's going to trade out there. Corsa's going to get the brag onto Jay, and it looks like Ninja Nick and Co are going to try and Uber in from the shutter into last, but they aren't going to find anything. The gun didn't even go down from Ascent, so it looks like Meat Market with the failed Uber push into last. They're just going to opt to try and hold to. QQ's going to spawn in a couple seconds along with Jay, and Ski's going to have about a 40% advantage, and QQ's going to come up on the sniper. So they are going to try and hold the second point here with the QQ sniper. This is a pretty good point to snipe on, and Ascent is already getting aggressive in the upper area before Kyuki's in a position to really get any good sight line.
Yeah, I think that this sniper could be really important, but I also think that Ascent is 100% Uber, and, you know, if...
Broking is in, he's in on the Ski. He's going to find a really good first rocket, but Broking is going to go down. Skis is able to get the health pack. Ash and Kyuki are in the big door. Ash is hiding in the corner, baiting a sniper while he's holding on this really long... Jay is actually going to pogo in, going to find a really good 2 rockets into Ash, and Ash isn't even going to be in a position to trade the frag. Ash didn't punish Jay there. I don't know if Kyuki just didn't call he was getting bombed or what, but we're going to see Ash go down off the back of that, and Saigai going to die as well. Laz is going to find a really good frag there, so despite the fact that both teams have Uber, Meat Market is down 3 players, progressively losing them, and Ninja Nick's in the shutter area with Corsa. Broking's going to be in the upper area. He's going to be spotted. He should go down here shortly to the 2 sold. He's actually going to back up, getting to get the health pack. So Corsa and Ninja Nick's actually going to get caught by Jay. A really good 2 rockets from Jay, going to get that one. And Slemnish is going to take down Broke. Jay is going to go down for the Force, but Skis has yet to pop his Uber. Bot mode down to 40 HP. They are going to get the Force on that one. And Corsa is going to get bot mode in that Uber, but with just scouts up for Meat Market, Ascent is going to be looking to try and play the point. They're going to see Skis on the point. He's actually going to die to Q. So Broking's going to come up on the spawn, but Yite is on the point. We are going to see Slemnish in the water area, going to be trying to take the 1v1 against Broking with heal. Slemnish is going to win it out. It's just Ninja Nick. Oh, the Ash is going to come in off the respawner and punish. So off the very scrappy DM fight, Ascent is going to claim the Meat Markets 2, and we can send up a defense on 2 as well, but Meat Market able to pull out the stops and able to hold last.
Yeah, that was kind of an example of Meat Market getting saved by their spawns. Both soldiers came up. Both soldiers were able to...
but Ash with a huge play on the Skis. Laz is going to find Corsa, and Yite is going to collect Ash in the shutter area, but with no heals on the side of Ascent, they're going to be pushing in, but Bob Mode's just going to take down Ninja Nick in the shutter. He tried to push in with Saigai, but Saigai left him out to dry, rotating out of the big door area. Bob was able to jug him up with the sticky and just pipe him down. Slemnish is up on Sniper for his team, but with no heals on the side of Meat Market, it should be a hold here for Ascent.
Yeah, we may see them pushing in sooner rather than later. As I was saying, you saw, Skis go straight to point when they pushed in, and I think that what he needed to do was finish the job with his scouts, because him dying to Corsa was ultimately what caused them to lose that fight, as the scouts didn't have heals, the soldiers spawned, and they were able to bomb onto point and stop the scouts from capping it.
Yep, so we are going to see Skis building up his Uber. It was originally about 15%, but it's going to grow to about 25%. Slemnish is going to get the Sniper v Sniper win on QK, so finally see a proper Sniper v Sniper going down with one of the snipers dying. And we're going to see Laz pressuring in from main, going to get a decent first rocket into Ninja Nick, while Ascent postures up on the riverside. Slemnish is just going to be looking for pot shots into Laz. It doesn't look like Ascent really knows that they have an Uber. And yeah, QK along with Corsa are going to find the frag onto Yite. Jay is going to shoot rockets at the Pyro though, however, and Slemnish with a big headshot on the Saigai. This is huge. Ninja Nick is actually really weak as well by the main area, so Ash is going to get the pick onto Slemnish, and QK is going to get a headshot onto bot mode. Ash is going to trade out with Jay, the self-damage, but Laz is in out of the pool. Laz is able to double up Ninja Nick after killing QK, and it's going to be 4-0 for Ascent.
Gotta block the point, Berg. Yeah, that was great play out of Laz. He bombed down river. He got into water when nobody was looking at him. And no, speaking of Berg, I'd like to see what Broking's up to on this mid.
Yes, we are going to see our 5th mid coming out. It is 4-0 for Ascent right now. Meat Market is on match point. This is do or die for them on this mid. We are going to see both teams just taking their own side. We're going to see a really high bomb out of Laz, and Jay's going to come in from the floor, going to collect Saigai, Corsa, and Ninja Nick to follow. Really good coordinated aggression out of Ascent. It's just going to be Broking and QK left alive. QK's going to go down. Broking's going to jump, but he's not going to find anything. And again, Ascent claiming another mid, and another mid that Skis has stayed alive, and Ninja Nick hasn't.
Yeah, I called for, I called to watch what Broking did, and now I'm seeing the stream a couple seconds later as he does nothing on that mid. A little unfortunate, but sometimes that happens as a roamer. We're going to see Meat Market setting up a hold here. Corsa on the engineer, Cookie on the sniper, as he does find Slemnish. So that's going to put one pick in favor of Meat Market, as they do still have a 60% Uber advantage.
Yep, we're going to see Laz very quickly bombing into water. If you blink, you might miss him. And Yite and Bot Mode are going to be taking the Uber in. The gun is going to go down super early from Corsa. Corsa's committed on the Engineer. Bot Mode going to find a first sticky into him. However, he's not going to find much else. Kyuki and Yite are going to be fighting behind the point. Kyuki's going to destroy Yite behind the point, eating almost no damage. But Bot Mode's going to come in, 2-pipe down Kyuki and Corsa, and it's going to be 5-0 for Ascent.
Yeah, Ascent showed that they did have a plan on Gully Wash. They kept up that aggression. They kept up that constant pressure on the last point, and Meme Market found themselves really unable to do anything about it.
Yep, and we are going to see the 5-0 for Ascent, and they are going to claim their spot in the grand finals to play against Froyo, while Meme Market goes out in third.
Yep, and we already did see Froyo versus Ascent once in the upper bracket finals. And it'll be good to see what Ascent plans to change for this rematch.
Yep, it looked like they struggled when they met in a previous series, but I think based on the last couple times they have played, from what I've seen watching a couple people streaming scrims from them playing, as well as them playing tonight, I think Ascent has looked in a lot better form versus what we saw in the upper bracket final versus Froyo. It is going to be a tough mountain to climb, as they do have to win 2 series if they do want to claim the championship. And Froyo has done a very, very good job of having a strong claim on the title every season. So it's going to be a tough ask from Ascent, but it is doable.
It certainly is doable. These players have shown that they have top DM. They have the ability to roll teams that are also top invite. And, they just need to find a way to piece it all together and make it happen just for one night.
Indeed. I don't know if we want to take a peek at the stats at all. It was a 5-0, so the stats are going to be very one-sided and have to be taken with a large grain of salt. But I think that the standout thing to me is Slumnish going huge with a big 39 for 21. He had 12 more frags. 11 more frags than anybody else on the server. Jay had the second most at 28, and Kursa and Kyuki at 26, or 27 and 26 respectively. But Slumnish doing a ton of work for his team, cleaning up on all of the frags, and Jay top damaging in the server for this map.
Yeah, you saw a lot of great performances out of everyone on Ascent. Who do you have getting some high kill numbers for Meat Market?
On Meat Market, their scouts did pretty well. Corso was again 27 for 18, and Kyuki at 26 for 22. Broking did a little bit better. It looks like in the second half, he finished it out 11 and 35. So It looked like he had a better showing in the second half, but not enough to really turn it around for his team. The second half, they did show a little more life. I think both halves are about the same length, but the second half was only 2 rounds for Ascent. I think what I was saying, like when the game did slow down, Meat Market did show some more signs of life, but as the game progressively de-evolved, we saw Ascent getting the better end of things, and I think, especially based on his kill count, I think Slumnish is kind of that deciding factor.
Yeah, he's a superstar. He's a superstar scout, and he really showed it tonight in this playoff match. He showed that he cannot be contained by the lower bracket. He is destined for the grand finals. It is the only place that he can be.
Indeed. So we are going to see Ascent is going to meet Furyo in the grand finals. That should happen sometime in the next couple of days. I believe the tentative time is technically today for us East Coasters, but tomorrow if you are in any other North American time zone. I don't know if you have anything else to add, BILLDOZER, but I think that is all I've got.
Yeah, that's about all I have too. It was a good match. I liked what I saw, and I wish Ascent the best of luck versus Froyo Tech.
Indeed. So I'm going to make a quick shout out to the Dunk Masters. Again, been shouting them out every time I've been casting. My boy is playing. I won't be able to watch it because I believe I'm scheduled to cast the grand finals, which should be Froyo versus Ascent. I believe the tentative plan is to have them tomorrow. That is the default match time. So I won't be able to watch it, but shout out to my boys making it big in IM.
I'd like to give a big shout out to my boy Lou for doing his fantastic camera work for this match.
Yeah, shout out to Looster, and shout out to Console. He's been a little bit absent going through some other things, but he's done a really good job of setting us up with all the resources we need to continue doing casts for TFTV. So big shout out to Console. And again, I'd like to shout out Looster for being the big man on the camera. So,
and then finally, who I'm going to shout out, Nick.
I should make a big shout out to the BILLDOZER. Trying to think of a clever way to put dad in there, but
There is no clever way, but you can just call me Dad if you want. Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my dad, Zachary, and that's all I have for tonight.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. This has been the teamfortress.tv coverage of the lower bracket finals for ESEA Invite Season 31. This was Ascent versus a Meat Market, and we should be back sometime in the next few days with the grand finals of Ascent versus Froyo. Thanks everybody for watching.
You have a good night.